Wasted World of Sports, ahoy! How is everybody doing? Welcome along to the Melbourne Showdown. Renegades versus the Stars, both teams still in it. Should be an absolute cracking contest. We've seen quite a few of them this BBL 14 so far. And quite frankly, I'm expecting no less from this one here. The real Sixer fan, ahoy mate, yes. He thinks the Stars will win. I've got to say that I agree with that. Going to be a tight game. The Renegades have won the first little battle in that they won the bat flip and elected to field first. But, and it's a big but, this is a Kardashian-sized but. We've seen teams win the toss, bowl first, and then completely cock up the run chase, haven't we, in the most recent games? So there's now no guarantee that winning the bat flip and electing to field first is a pathway to success. You've still got to get the job done out there on the field. Mitchell Vela Sport, ahoy there. How are you, mate? What has been the best Big Bash game of the year? Well, the year is still only 12 days old. We saw some fantastic ones at the end of last year, but I know what you mean, mate. I'm just being, facetious? Gurpreetji, ahoy, mate. Who is winning today? I've got a feeling, just a little bit of an inkling, that it is the Stars' day. I feel something about the Stars. It's that underdog run through to the finals. Every competition needs a good storyline, right? And the storyline for this competition would be, imagine the Melbourne Stars winless down the bottom of the table. They go on a streak and results go their way and they sneak into the finals. That would be a hell of a story for the competition. So for Mitchell Vela Sports question, the best game of the Big Bash so far, I still reckon one of the most memorable for me has been the Sydney Thunder, Daniel Sams chasing down the impossible chase. That was such a thrill to call. It was such a thrill to watch. It was such a thrill to be part of. And I think that memory will live with me forever. So that wasn't this year. That was last year, I'm pretty sure. That was one of the first games. But it was part of this season. So I'm going to go ahead and vote for that one. Yeah, right. Ahoy there. Who have I got winning tonight? I've just got this feeling about the Stars. They've been sent into bat first. The Renegades winning the toss, electing to field, which is a nice little victory for them. But I've just got this feeling about the Stars. The storyline is written. Enzo, ahoy, mate. Yeah, the storyline is written. The underdog story of they were down and out. They couldn't beat themselves the way they were going. And they've found their form. Of course, they have to win every single game, and they probably have to hope for some results here on in to go their way. But I've just got this feeling about the Stars. And in order to do that, they do have to keep winning. And that means winning tonight. So it'll be interesting to see. You know what? It's probably going to flip today because, Gurpreet, here's what I did. I put my tips in based on who won the bat flip. I thought both games, in my opinion, were going to be really, really close. So whoever won the bat flip and elected to field first were going to get the win, in my opinion. So I tipped that way in both games. And then, of course, what happened? The team batting first went out and put on an absolute spectacle. Steve Smith for the Sixers, Matt Short for the Hurricanes. So who's going to do it for the Stars tonight? The Stars batting first. Now that I've actually backed the team batting first, watch the chasing team come through. Watch the Renegades steal it at the death. Dean Winchester, you're at the game. Very nice. Apparently there's some rain hovering about, but that, of course, doesn't matter because here at Marvel Stadium, a roof. If there's any chance of rain, that roof is just going to close up and we carry on. Can Maxwell win this for the Stars? Maxwell, Stoinis, Peter Siddle with the ball. There's plenty of match winners throughout the Melbourne Stars team. The Melbourne Stars are slight favourites with the bookmakers. Very slight favourites. $1.89 to the Renegades, $1.91. So Jake Fraser-McGurk, he has been pretty quiet so far in BBL 14. So that would be a little concerning for the opposition. Ben Duckett out to open the batting. Will Main, ahoy, buddy. Yes, this should be a great game. So Fraser-McGurk for the Renegades, he's been somewhat quiet. Could it be a Steve Smith, Matt Short level performance from Fraser-McGurk tonight? Ben Duckett, I just need him to hit a 6. And Stoinis, 20 plus. And for wickets, I've got Rogers and Zampa. You didn't end up going to the game? Fair enough. Sometimes it's a lot more fun to just stay at home and sit back and relax and chuck it on the TV. Here we go. Ben Duckett. I need him to hit a 6. He'll be facing the first ball, I think. You're from I see. You're in Geelong and the game's in Melbourne. Yeah, you know what? I did that to somebody once because up here in Brisbane, we just think of Melbourne and Geelong as one and the same, almost. And there's a mate of mine from down that way. And I was in Melbourne. I'm like, mate, I'm in Melbourne. Come out and party. He's like, it's a bit late notice. I'm like, what do you mean? You're right here. He's like, no, I'm from Geelong. And? And what did he say, Will? He said exactly that. It's an hour away, buddy. Give me a heads up next time. First ball bowled, straight through, hits the pads, and he's gone. Rogers with the breakthrough on the first ball. That's a big start for the Renegades. Perfectly bowled, some shape away, and Harper is gone. The very first ball, Harper is gone. Pitches in line, hits in line. The only thing that will save him here is an inside edge, but he hasn't got one. The very first delivery of the match. And Rogers gets the breakthrough. Well, there's one tick off my multi. And it would be that one. Yes, Rogers, have yourself a beer. Wow. What a start for the Renegades. Melbourne Stars in trouble early. The very first ball. And Rogers just rips straight through. Bo Webster, here he comes. Bo Webster. Could it be his night? Could it be the night for Big Bo Webster to put on a performance? Beautiful shape away, a little far outside off stump. Incredible start here. It's only one ball, Michelle. One ball, one wicket. You panic too easily. Plenty of time left in this one. Now, would this thing go ahead and update, please? Very great start, Shano, for the Renegades, but Bo Webster. Can Bo Webster do? Watch. I nearly called him Shane Smith because Shano's right there in the chat. Can Bo Webster do what Steve Smith did just the other night, just last night. Rogers, a wicket and a dot ball to start. And a straighter one on the pads. Webster turns it away to deep square leg for one. He's off the mark straight away. Well, 120 more for Webster. 120 more to come. And she'll be right. Harper got out first ball. Plum LBW, Dylan. Absolute plum. And by the way, who's playing in the tennis? One for one after the first three balls. Who cares, says the AFL fan. I'd rather watch 700 games of tennis in a row before I sit down for a quarter of Aussie rules. Now, what's going on here? Why can't everything just work? There we go. I think it's fixed now. Oh, he's beaten the bat here on Duckett and a huge appeal. It's going down leg side and maybe a little too high, but... Oh, they're excited here, the Renegades. They're up for this one. By the way, I tipped the Stars as well. Yes, we have streamed a quarter of AFL, and if there happened to be 700 games of tennis on beforehand, I would have watched those first. But it wasn't an option. Right in the slot, and Duckett lifts it over the leg side. One bounce and over the rope. Oh, that was almost my six. That was almost another tick off the multi. Just short. Oh, what an over from Rogers, though, despite that final boundary. The Melbourne Stars 1 for 5. I'll tell you, Dylan, who my favourite Australian players are. Priscilla Hon and Lizette Cabrera. Anybody who knows me probably understands why. The Red Knight, ahoy, mate. I see you've gone with Samoa again. Oh, Zampa. I see the Red Knight 47 just got auto-corrected. Nice to know that Zampa auto-corrects to Samoa. Bo Webster just prods at this one. Outside off Fergus O'Neill with a good start. The Renegades bowling well. Rogers has got the wicket nice and early. It's always a good feeling when you get a tick off the multi inside the first over. Webster advances down the pitch. A swing and a miss. We have seen this happen. We have seen the Test Stars come back into their BBL squads. Constas, for example, and just struggle to get to the pace of the ball. Everybody except for Steve Smith, of course. Steve Smith took to it like a duck to water. But we've seen the other players kind of struggle a wee bit getting to the pace of the ball coming back from the tests. Webster turns it away, fine, beats, short, fine leg, and that's 4. And yes, Harper was the man out. Plumsky's LBW. Oh, absolutely, Michelle. No pressure because no one's really going to think any more or less of him if he gets out cheaply. And like the fact that he's been playing for about 400 years. So he's very well experienced at switching between all the codes. Constas, Webster, couple of young fellas. Well, Webster's not that young, is he? But young in terms of experience in the test squad. Red ball cricket, switching back to white ball cricket, switching 50 overs to 20 overs. Like, you don't really appreciate just how much it changes things. Your mindset, the strokes you play, how you build into an innings. DeHaans, ahoy, mate. And Nick Clark, ahoy. 1 for 12, 1.5 overs gone here. Ben Duckett was this close to giving me my second tick off the multi. Oh, by the way, it's been made officially official. I think we already knew, for those of us that saw it, we already knew, but it's officially official that seagull died. Here's one for that seagull that lost its life. It didn't deserve to go out like that. But yeah, I was trying to find some information about it. I was hoping to find some information that suggested it was okay. Unfortunately, I found confirmation. I should have just let it be. I should have just had the story in my own mind that it was absolutely fine after the fact and left it. But no. I had to go searching, didn't I? I had to go searching because I like to bring relevant and factual information to the streams. So I had to go looking, didn't I? And confirmed what we all feared, or what we all probably knew, but chose to ignore. Sutherland into the bowling attack. I nearly had this guy in my multi as well. The wicket taker. Let's see. By the way, how's the audio, TikTok? I kind of fiddled with a few knobs earlier. And whenever I fiddle with knobs, things seem to go haywire. So do sing out if there's any audio issues. Especially if you can hear me breathing. I don't like to be heard breathing on the streams. Even though it's a perfectly natural thing to do. Sutherland into Duckett, dances down the pitch, gets this off the top edge. It will have enough on it to go over the circle and land safely. And they come back for 2. Duckett is very, very keen to get that 6 for me. One for 15, 2.2 gone. A wicket on the first ball. Unbelievable. Well, hopefully tonight, this means he gets a score because he's off and running, 7 off 6. He hasn't hit one cleanly yet. That's the problem. He hasn't hit one out of the middle. Slower ball. Duckett turns it away. Out to deep square leg for 1. Sutherland's enjoying himself, a big smile on his face there as he walked back past the umpire. One for 16. Three balls left here in this over from Will Sutherland. Wide outside off. Webster chops away at it. Can't beat the man at cover. Webster didn't get anywhere near to the pace of that ball. Yeah, so it's interesting, isn't it? Like coming back from Test cricket, what we were just talking about, it obviously makes a big difference. And your experienced campaigners, your Steve Smiths, and hopefully for the Brisbane Heat, your Khawajas and Labuschagnes will go all right as well. I've got a feeling Labuschagne, though, and Khawaja, they're under a little bit of pressure. And it's T20 and T20 form. doesn't necessarily mean anything when it comes to test form or test selection. And I think they've already been selected, but there's a little bit more pressure on them to perform. Like Michelle was saying before, Steve Smith had no pressure really. But Khawaja and Labuschagne, they do kind of need a performance. End of the over, it's 1 for 16, a dot ball to finish. 3 overs gone. Good start for the Renegades, winning the toss and electing to field first. Doing what the Brisbane Heat could not do last night, and that's bowl well. Isn't it sad, really, though? Like, for the Brisbane Heat, they just bowled really, really poorly, and they came up against Matt Short in scintillating form. And he was assisted ably by Chris Lynn and a couple of others. Because the Brisbane Heat, they got 190. Edged and away, fine. Down to the third man fence for 4. Duckett, that was an all or nothing shot, that one. Under normal circumstances, right, 190 in a T20 is a fantastic score, so they didn't really bat too badly. They didn't bat well enough to chase down the monumental target that the bowlers allowed to be set. So I was very critical of them at the time, obviously, but when you sort of look back and reflect, the batting, at least, wasn't that bad. The bowling was disastrous. Yeah, the 206 from the Scorchers as well. 206, 9 times out of 10 wins you the match. 190, probably 7 out of 10 wins you the match. It's crazy. Crazy just how well the other teams did off the back of one person. Steve Smith for the Sixers, Matt Short for the Hurricanes. It was a crazy, crazy night. Up the NRL, ahoy, mate. I've tipped the Stars in this one, but boy, the Renegades are off to a good start. Rogers with a wicket off the first ball of the innings. And he's looked likely a couple of other times as well. Rogers into Duckett. Duckett backs away, thumps it back at him. A caught and bowled chance, but a tough one. It was a very tough chance. He just patted it down. He didn't even try and catch that. He was just trying to protect himself. Duckett backs away, slices it through the offside for 4. A fantastic shot. One for 24. 2 boundaries off this over. That's a bit more like it. Ben Duckett. Well, it was mentioned in the chat room that he either gets out cheaply or gets a big score. He's on to 16. Goes the ramp, lifts it over the top, and that's 4 more. Oh, it's not. There's protection out there. Zampa, where did he pop up from? Zampa just popped up out of nowhere there. Through for a single. We should have a ramp counter. I don't understand, Nick, why you would play that when there's a fine leg. Stupid. Webster goes for the big slog. It's in the air, almost taken. The man on the circle there at mid-wicket puts it down. They come through for a single. Christian, I've gone for the Stars in this one. I've tipped the Stars, but boy, the Renegades have started well. I mean, a wicket off the first ball, it doesn't get much better than that. A scintillating delivery it was as well from Rogers to pick up that wicket. Final ball of the over, wide down the leg side. This will be bowled again. A free run, a gift. Of course, whoever wins this game tonight, into fourth spot, into the finals area. The top four. Big turnout. That is an impressive crowd. What is it, Sunday? Not a bad turnout for a Sunday night. People have got work tomorrow. I mean, normal people. Not me. I don't, thankfully. Thank you very much for sharing the live there. I can't see the name. I apologize. Duckett lifts this one fine down the leg side. Well, Zampa had come up from fine leg. Deep fine leg to short fine leg. And that's a bit more like it from Duckett. At least the fine leg was up. Jai, I think that's Jai. Jai Tragar. Thank you very much for sharing the live, Jai. And I hope I'm saying your name right. It's very small, and I need glasses. I should be wearing my glasses. Maybe then I'd be able to read it. 1 for 31, 4 overs gone. Winner into the top four. And only a couple of games left. Okay, Stars, this is their ninth. This is their ninth game. Okay, they absolutely have to win, obviously. Fergus O'Neill back into the attack. Slower ball. Turned off the pads. Just a single. For Bo Webster. Webster struggling to get to the pace of things here. Coming back from test duties. Taking a little time to get going. Marcus Stoinis there on the bench. Wonder what he's thinking about. Oh, Ben Duckett's got 20 runs. No, I need him to hit a 6. Okay. I should have gone the other way around. I've got Duckett to hit a 6 and Stoinis to get 20 plus runs. Maybe I should have gone Duckett for 20 plus, Stoinis to hit a 6. I would have been able to put another tick up on the multi here. I actually bet Zampa doesn't take a wicket tonight. Duckett lifts this one straight to the man at long on. Trying to get things moving along there, Ben Duckett. And that's the end of that part of the multi. I had Ben Duckett to hit a 6. And Marcus Stoinis for 20 plus. I should have gone Duckett 20 plus. Stoinis to hit a 6. He has just lifted that casually straight down the throat of the man at long on. And Duckett is gone. 21 or 14. The Stars reeling here. 2 for 32. Renegades well on top now. Winning the toss and electing to field first. They had to come out and bowl well. They've done just that. A fabulous start with the ball. Well, I had tipped the Melbourne Stars to win this, but the Renegades have come out and bowled so well. I'm going to stick with the Stars, though. Maxwell, Stoinis. Those are a couple of players that could come in and just destroy at the back end. Set a target to bowl at. Tom Rogers out to the crease, though. We have to wait for Stoinis. Fergus O'Neill, a good over this one. Edged and gone. Rogers is out. First ball. Well, they are under the pump big time now. The Stars this season. Hanging by a thread. 3 for 32. They cannot afford to lose this. It's a must win. And they are on the ropes, dazed and confused. And they need every single ounce of Stoinis and Maxwell tonight now. Big pressure. The second golden duck of the innings. Fergus O'Neill is on a hat-trick. Well, here come the Renegades. Marcus Stoinis, here we go. Big innings needed here. Coming out to face a hat-trick ball. Three for 32. Wow. Great bowling from the Renegades it's been. We've seen quite a few hat-trick deliveries. Hat-trick opportunities. Stoinis lifts it, scoops it in the air, and just short of the man diving in from mid-off. Oh, centimetres away from a hat-trick. Stoinis threw the shot late. It just scoops up in the air. And mid-off dives desperately for it. Centimetres in front of him. Bends away to the offside here. Just a single. He's off the mark. That's a terrible throw. That was not close to either end. It was right back down the middle of the pitch. 2 wickets and only 3 runs off that over. 3 for 34. 5 overs gone. Callan Dub. Or Kalen Dub. Ahoy there. Three for 34, 5 overs gone. The Renegades. We were centimetres away from witnessing a hat-trick. Callan Dub. Nice. Ben Duckett has just thrown his wicket away there, the first one. And then Rogers, what was he doing? Just slashing at that outside off. And Stoinis. Oh, that was so close. Painfully short there for Fergus O'Neill. Keeping the pressure on here, the Renegades. Sutherland in. Driven back down the ground. Webster. Didn't get all of it. And they come back for a second. It's been absolutely incredible. Steve Smith has come back into his BBL squad and just gone flying. Constas, we saw Sam Constas the other night. Really struggled. Webster has yet to middle one. He's hanging in there, though, Bo Webster. 13 or 14. But he has yet to get one out of the middle. Alvin Kamara, ahoy. Just fended down to the offside for a single. Webster. Much like Constas, struggling for the pace. Callan Dub. I go for the Brisbane Heat. Unfortunately. I mean, I realise they're defending champions, so I should be happy, but they've got no chance of defending the title. As a matter of fact, regardless of who wins this game, the Brisbane Heat will drop out of the top 4. Stoinis, it's right in the slot, and he lifts this over the leg side for 6. That was right there in the slot, a half volley. And Stoinis drills this over mid-wicket. See? That's what I was saying. I should have had... Okay, in my multi, I had Ben Duckett to hit a 6, Marcus Stoinis to get 20 plus. I should have had Ben Duckett for 20 plus, Stoinis to hit a 6. I knew it. As soon as the stream started, I said, I've got this wrong. I've got this the wrong way around. And there we go. Oh, well. Good follow-up there from Sutherland anyway, right on the money. And fended down for a dot ball. That's the joys of gambling anyway. You win some, you lose some. Or what is it they say? You win some, you lose more. Alvin, I tipped the Stars to win this tonight, and it's still not over. There's a long way to go. As Stoinis fends this back down the pitch. Well bowled from Sutherland again. So I tipped the Melbourne Stars, but the Renegades have started so well. I kind of lost faith when BBL first started, BBL 14 first started. I actually said that the Renegades were my smoky for winning the whole comp. But then they kind of went off the boil a little bit. Chance of overthrows here. Well, that was silly. They don't run through. They don't come through for the single. Exactly, Giles. Wrong way around. And I kind of had a feeling, as soon as I did it, I had a feeling. I'm like, I've got this the wrong way around. As soon as I whacked it on and as soon as the game started. But oh well, I've done that quite a few times this season. Quite a few times. Hendricks, who's winning tonight, well, the Renegades have given themselves a very good start and a very big chance here. But I have gone the Stars and there's a long way to go. And as we always say, every single stream, we say it, you can't judge a pitch until both teams have batted on it. So we'll see what the Stars can come up with as Zampa starts with a full toss. And Webster, again, just can't get to the pace of the ball. Really struggling out there tonight, the big man. But importantly, he's hanging in there. 14 or 16. And once he starts getting hold of the ball, it could be trouble. Slashes away at this one. Protection out at point. Just a single. 3 for 44. 6.2 overs gone. Stoinis back on strike. Zampa floats it up. And he's taken it. Sutherland takes a ripper of a catch. And Stoinis is gone. Oh, no, it's a bump ball. All right, everyone calm down. Well, Sutherland took the ball, jumped up in the air, threw it up, celebrated. But apparently he was the only one. Everybody else wanted to get... They even put wicket on the screen on Channel 7. Oh, that would have been a huge wicket. Oh, it's even gone up on the Crick Info website. Everyone thought that was out. A bump ball. Kai Matheson. Go the Stars. Win tonight. They've got to rebuild. This could be the partnership here. Webster and Stoinis. Well, this time it's out. Webster. Straight to Sutherland. And this time it is out. Bo Webster, though, instead of Marcus Stoinis. And the Stars slump to 4 for 45. Straight to that man at extra cover. Well taken. Well, he thought he had to catch a couple of balls earlier. He's definitely got that one. Aguero, ahoy, mate. Welcome back. Jeff, ahoy. Is it true that Checkers is making his debut tonight? I did hear somebody's making a debut tonight, so Presumably, that's who it would be. A wicket for Zampa is another tick off the multi. If Stoinis can hit a 6, no, if Stoinis can get 20, then I will get cash back for one leg failing. Glenn Maxwell, can he lead the way here for the Stars? Oh, wait, Josh Brown's not playing? Oh, really? I might be saved. The day might be saved. Hang on, let me have a look. Because I've got Josh Brown in my multi. Ben Duckett let me down. So if Josh Brown is rubbed out... Oh no, it says here that Josh Brown is playing. I thought I saw him earlier down at Fine Leg. Oh well, I'm screwed. I did think I saw him out there earlier. Stars are in big trouble here. 4 for 45. Yeah, Josh Brown missed the last game, but I do believe he's back. I do believe he's back tonight. Dylan, who wins the comp? I actually reckon the Hobart Hurricanes. The Hurricanes are very well placed. Stoinis pulls this away slightly off the top edge. Just enough on it. It only just clears the rope by about a metre. Stoinis is going all or nothing here. .79 metres. Bluey says, come on, Gades. Chris says, Stoinis and Maxwell about to go nuts, and Stoinis this time keeps it a little more along the ground. And it's through mid-wicket for 4. 10 off the first 2 balls of this over. Rogers. For the first time tonight, Rogers under pressure. Stoinis lifts this one high. It might hit the roof. It's straight down the ground and on the fence. The catch is taken. Stoinis can't believe it. Novak Djokovic can't believe it. Stoinis is gone. The Stars 5 for 55. Oh, that's almost hit the roof. The only thing that would have saved him there, the roof. Richardson takes the catch right on the boundary down at long on. Stoinis gone for 18 off 10. He just got under that a little bit much. If that hit the roof, it would have been called a 6, I reckon. It's umpire's call. It is up to the umpires on the field to decide, would the ball have gone for 6 if not for the interference of the roof? And I think that hit, that particular hit, would have been called a 6. It looked like it was 6 off the bat. It sounded like it was 6 off the bat. So I think they would have called that. It got so close. That is as close as it can possibly be. All right, Hilton Cartwright. Now it is all up to Glenn Maxwell. 5 for 55, the Stars. Boy, oh boy. Rogers, 2 for 30. Mookie, ahoy, mate. How are you? Five for 55. Who saw this coming? Renegades fans, probably. Well, hoping. They would have been hoping. Cartwright punches this through the offside before. And he is on to that straight away, right into his work, Hilton Cartwright. $14 off the over, but a very important wicket. Marcus Stoinis. Five for 59. Boy, Rogers has bowled well. Cartwright turns it to the offside for a single. End of the 8th over, 5 for 60. Oh, they're under the pump. Oh, Callan. Callan, you had this picked. Well done. My spot on top of the Wasted World of Sports tipping contest is really in trouble. Because I got the last two wrong. This one's in danger. My top spot is getting very, very shaky. Dale Hurley, ahoy there, mate. Welcome along. Thank you very much. Wasted World of Sports, live on YouTube, live on TikTok. Alternative commentary for Big Bash, NRL, Super Rugby, Six Nations. Whatever we feel like covering, we cover. Fergus O'Neill back into the attack. They're keeping the foot on the throat is what I like here about the Renegades. What I've seen from teams like my team, the Brisbane Heat, and what I've seen happen, what's the word? Captains won't keep the foot on the throat. They won't keep their frontline bowlers on because they want to save them for the back overs. And I understand the hesitation, but the Renegades here not being afraid to just keep their frontline bowling attack firing, trying to keep taking wickets. And then by the time the back end overs come in, the Stars might not have any batsmen left. Ty Matheson, you tipped the Stars. Yeah. I felt like the Stars were going to go on a run, but their season hanging by a thread, less than a thread even. I feel like the thread's broken at the moment, and they are falling slowly but surely into the abyss. Slower ball. Cartwright just fends it back to the bowler. This is great work. This has been fantastic bowling from the Renegades all round. Nick Clark, you've got Duckett, top run scorer for the Stars. You're still a slim chance. Keep on believing. Keep the dream alive. As Cartwright through for a quick single. Robbie says that Stoinis got really unlucky. Absolutely. I felt, as soon as he hit that, I felt like it was 6. It sounded like 6. It looked like 6. They're actually talking on the TV commentary about the potential as to whether or not it hit the roof. Did it brush the roof? Did it just get a little graze on the roof? It got as close as I've ever seen it. Maxwell opens the face. The bat turns it away to point for a single. 5 for 62. 9 overs gone. The power surge becomes all important. Now, these two have got to be there. And they'll call the surge straight away, surely. They have to. There is no point, surely, to just batting, because they're not getting boundaries. If they were still hitting boundaries, well, they kind of are, I suppose, but not enough. I think they need to call the surge straight away. Over 10, call it. Richardson into the bowling attack. Glenn Maxwell facing just his third ball. I feel like he's been out there for an eternity, and he's only faced his third ball. Turns it away for a single. Yeah, Nick Clark, I go for the, footy is in, well, NRL, I go for the Sharks. AFL, I don't follow. But when I was little, and I did used to watch it, I used to go for the Essendon Bombers. And edged and taken. Hilton Cartwright's on his way. There's another one down. Oh, they're not even going to make 100. 6 for 63. They are losing a wicket every 10 runs. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. The Stars this season. Could be gone. Looking like it's gone. Who is going to save them? Drinks have been called. They're not waiting for the end of the over because of the wicket falling. 6 for 63, 9.2 overs gone. Maxwell needs to pull a Maxwell versus Afghanistan. Maxwell needs to pull a Michael Bevan versus the West Indies. Six for 63. Oh, boy. I know that we say never judge a pitch until both teams are batted on it. But it's hard to resist throwing down a very harsh judgment here on the Melbourne Stars batting performance. The Renegades have bowled extremely well, though. Let's not take away from that. The Renegades' bowling performance has been immense. Right from ball one, literally from ball number one, they have been on the money. Bitsy, ahoy, mate. I love that they're having a drinks break. I've been drinking since ball one. Their drinks break should be my non-drink break. Ollie, ahoy, mate. Welcome back. Maxwell needs to step up. It's all on him now. And that's a lot of pressure. But Glenn Maxwell is more than capable of handling a little bit of pressure, right? He's an experienced campaigner. Paddy Conroy, welcome back. How are you, mate? Oh, I'm doing the cheeky JBs tonight. The Big Bash has kind of forced me to be on a budget. See, when you stream, we stream mainly the NRL, mainly. And the NRL, when the season's on, it's only from Thursday till Sunday. So essentially, I only spend money Thursday to Sunday, and usually I buy, like, you're not spending money every single day, you're stocking up for the weekend, and maybe you have a day or two off as well. It depends how you feel. The Big Bash, though, is on every single night. I walk out to the fridge and I'm like, hang on, I thought I had beer in here. Oh, yeah, that's right, there's a game on. Do I play Supercoach for the NRL? We're going to be doing NRL Fantasy. this upcoming season, and we always do the Waste of Water Sports NRL tipping comp. And we actually have a sponsor. We're very new to TikTok, right? But we've been around for a few years on YouTube. We actually have a sponsorship now on the YouTube streams, and we are offering a cash prize of $500 for the winner of the NRL tipping contest. So don't worry, we'll be streaming the NRL on TikTok this upcoming season, so all the information will get shared. And I can release more information about how to join. And what do you mean, since when? I told you about this. I told you about this in the members-only stream that we did over Christmas. By the way, the Metal Maiden in TikTok chat room, that is my oftentimes co-host. We literally spoke about this on the members-only stream because I brought up the tipping contest and you went, oh, here we go again. He's going to talk about the fact that he won it, and he's won it 2 out of the 3 years that we've done it. He's bringing this up again. And I'm like, no. I've actually got really good news about the tipping contest this year. We have sponsorship. There's a cash prize for the competition this year coming up. End of the 10th over. It is 6 for 64. The Stars reeling. They're in big trouble. Bearden, ahoy mate, is Boland playing? Good question. Zampa back into the attack. 1 for 2 off his first over. No. Boland is not playing. Zampa, his, his bleach. He had his bleached hair at the start of the season. It's gone now. Reverse sweep, top-edged, back past the keeper. Will it race over the outfield? It's slowing up. Wow, it slowed up big time. That's probably a 4 on every other ground in the world. That is a very slow outfield. They come back for 2. Glenn Maxwell is the only player that I will give the luxury of playing all those reverses and ramps and nonsense shots. He goes again. He gets hold of this one. Has he got enough on it? Yes, he does. Just a couple of meters over the fence at deep point. And a 6er. All right, Glenn Maxwell, can he lift the Stars to at least some sort of defendable total here? Six for 73, 3 deliveries left. Zampa floats it up. Big swing and a miss here from Maxwell. An appeal for LBW. The umpire not interested. Was going down leg side, I would say. Fake Slim Shady. Ahoy, mate. Oh, I still haven't set up the soundboard. I really wanted this. Hang on. I'm going to try and quickly do it now. Are they going to review this? They are going to have a look. The Renegades have reviewed. I reckon at best, this is going to be umpire's call. So they retain their review at least if... I think this is not out. Well, it's pitched in line. It's going on straight. It hasn't turned. It's going straight. So it's going down leg side. This would be a massive wicket, though. Going down leg side, I think maybe an umpire's call at best. But they will keep their review. if that's the case. Umpire's call. There we go. We got that absolutely right. They'll retain their review, and Glenn Maxwell will survive. Paris drives it down the ground. Just the single. Quick single taken, direct hit. I think he's safely home. Oh, they're going to have a look. Oh, they're going to have a look. Oh, this would be massive. This would be the end. This is the game in the balance. Right now, they've taken the single direct hit. Oh, that's close. That's very, very close. A direct hit. He's out. He's gone by a mile. He's gone. And they keep losing wickets every 10 or so runs. 7 for 75. Oh, dear, oh, dear, oh, dear. Out. Paris is on his way. 3 from 5. It is literally all on Maxwell now. The Stars, this is how they were performing at the start of the season. They found form, gave themselves a faint flicker of hope. And now they've put on a performance like this. Unbelievable. I've been tipping the team winning the toss and fielding first all weekend. Of course, the time that I go against that is the time that the team batting first goes and bowls things up. Of course. Why wouldn't it be? Oh, the power surge is taken. You would think that I would have tipped the Renegades, considering I said that they were my cheeky little smoky to win the whole competition. You would think, but no. 7 for 75, 11 overs gone, and they've called the surge with Maxwell on strike to Richardson. I mean, it's all or nothing now. Glenn Maxwell's got to go 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, single, retain the strike, and then go again. 4 or 6. Gets the bottom edge through to the keeper on the bounce, though. So he's safe. It's a dot ball. He hasn't left his crease because Zampa is well known for a good old man-cat. Maxwell lifts this, scoops it over the top of the circle on the onside, and there is a 4. And that's more like it. Seven for 79. I mean, honestly, do you reckon there's something in that? Adam Zampa is proven in the past he's not afraid of the old man cat. Protection now on the boundary. Long on goes into place to try and take that shot away from Maxwell. So he rips it a little bit more square into the gap, but it's fielded on the boundary. They'll come back for 2. Put a long on in place. I'll just hit it a bit more square. Didn't get hold of it, though. Well, you know what? If they can somehow find a way up to 140... They're having a closer look at this, but it was well and truly saved. Seven for 81. Well, they're into the 80s, so they're about due for their 8th wicket to fall. Oh, swing and a miss from Maxwell down the leg side. It's called a wide. Well, I'm pretty sure that it hit him, didn't it? And it's a no ball. It's going to be a free hit. Wow. I thought it hit Maxwell. Hang on, let's see this on replay. Oh, okay, yeah, it's above waist height. Hence why a no ball. Rosso. How do I say that? Rosso. You're watching on TV, but enjoy your commentate. Slower ball. Maxwell lifts it over the offside for 6. It was a slower ball outside off. And Maxwell taking full advantage of the free hit. "91 metres. Didn't even swing through it with full force." Oliver Wilson, 304. Evie says ahoy. Ahoy, Evie. Cheers. Hey, Ollie is the best. Any parties tonight? I'll hop on the first flight. I'll jump on the first flight to New Zealand and join. I don't have to work tomorrow, so I don't work again until Wednesday, so. One delivery left here in the opening power surge over. 7 for 88. $13 off it. 12 or 13 off it. I can't count. Bangs it in short. Maxwell pulls it away. Just the one. He will retain the strike for the next over. Solid start to the power surge for Maxwell, but they need a lot more of that. Rogers to bowl himself out. Maxwell on strike, swing and a miss. Beautifully bowled by Rogers. Pick of the bowlers tonight so far, I would say. 2 for 35 off his 3.1. He got the wicket off the very first ball of the innings, and that set the tone. It's been raised. It's interesting. They're promoting the Super Bowl. It's been raised a couple of times if I'd be doing the Super Bowl. Slower ball in the slot. Maxwell scoops it up over the top, but there is protection out there at mid-wicket. And they've refused the run. Well, that's interesting. I mean, it makes sense because One run. If they take one run there, Usama's on strike. Usama then has to spend another delivery getting Maxwell back on strike. It wasn't really worth chewing up that extra delivery, especially if Maxwell hits a 6 here. And it's in the slot. He lifts it over the offside, and it is a 6 here. And that is why the single was not taken, because Maxwell needs to face all of these deliveries. A 6 over, long off. The poor security guard there, the ground staff there, she was freaked out. There was a white ball coming towards her. Seven for 95. Well, they might actually recover here and make 100. That'd be good. Well, Maxwell's the key here. If Maxwell stays out there, and as long as he controls the strike and has a partner down the other end, they could still make 130, 140. Gets this off the bottom edge and refuses the single. It's got to be a boundary, this ball. A 4 or a 6 or a 2 even. A 2 wouldn't be a great result. They want 4s and 6s. Seven for 95. Rogers in again, down the leg side. Appeal for LBW. Very optimistic, to say the least. And a dot ball. Maxwell just can't get hold of it at the moment. Rogers. It's the trade-off. And it's good captaincy, I think. The Renegades have got the runs to play with here. Bowl Rogers here in the surge. It does mean that at the death, they're going to have to turn to someone who's not considered one of their frontline bowlers. But they do have the comfort of more fielders outside the circle. So bowl your best bowlers in the surge. They've seen Rogers out now, have the Stars. A little tickle off the pads and a dot ball to finish. Oh, they've come through for a single. They've raced through for a single. Only 7 runs from it. A good end to the surge there for the Renegades. Rogers has been on absolute fire. What a performance. They've still got Richardson. They've still got plenty of other bowlers as well. I certainly don't mean to disrespect the other bowlers. But obviously Rogers is the pick of the bunch, right? Will Sutherland might have something to say about that, though. In he comes to bowl. It's unrelenting. Richardson, Sutherland, Zampa. Maxwell lifts it into the sky. He hasn't got all of it, but he's got more than enough of it. A 6 over, long off. They have reached 100. And Usama has still yet to face a ball. Usama is down the non-striker's end, and he's probably more than happy to stay down there. Glenn Maxwell is just teeing off here. Cuts this one away. There's a single there if they want it. No, they're not interested at all. Glenn Maxwell is going to do this with boundaries, or they're not going to do it at all. That's the name of the game at the moment. Well, when you think about it, a single just exposes Usama down the other end. Maxwell second delivery, not going to take the single. If he gets another he just needs to hit boundaries. If he hits boundaries, like that's still like 10, couple of boundaries, 8 to 10 and over. There's plenty of overs left. They could still rack up a score if he just controls the strike, turns it away to the onside. A single's there. A single's there. Tempted him. He doesn't want it. Contribution 0. But he hasn't been allowed, has he, poor Osama? 27 off the partnership. 25, Maxwell. None for Osama. He very keen to get down the other end, Osama. Tully edits. It's going to be very tough. Very tough for the Stars from here on in, but Maxwell's obviously got a plan. What's this? Didn't realize I had any of that left. Sorry, completely sidetracked. And they come through for the single. Hannah Jubb, ahoy there. Welcome along. You're watching as well. Very nice. 7 off this over. So, yeah, there's plenty of overs left is the thing. 6 overs left. Osama's basically got a free hit here. He might try and go big just to prove that he can hit. He's let it through. He's just watched it through. What is this, test cricket? Osama just watches it through to the keeper. No, but what I mean, Michelle, is for Maxwell. For Maxwell to refuse the singles and just control the strikes, he's obviously got to start hitting more boundaries than just one in the over. But, I mean, that's 6 overs for Maxwell to go 4 for a few dots sprinkled in and then take a single off the last ball. He's got to be able to do it, though. But I think he's proven he can do it. He's capable of doing it. Fergus O'Neill. Do I think Maxwell's decision is good? Yes, absolutely. I mean, Maxwell is the most likely of the two to hit boundaries. So it does make sense that he would control the strike. Slower ball. Maxwell cuts it away. Refuses the single. Because if they can get 7, 8, 10 and over for the next 6, that's upwards of 60 runs. I mean, that's a huge if. I realise. Full toss. Driven away into the gap. They'll come back for 2. He'll be happy to take the 2s here, Maxwell. Gucci muscles, JB. Oh, he's gone the reverse. It's a full toss. Possibly over waist height. Possibly over waist height. There's actually a video on YouTube of Novak Djokovic trying a cricket stroke. It didn't pan out all that well. Slower ball. The pace is off. Maxwell refuses the single down to long on. Elliot Bothaway Didn't these guys play each other like 3 days ago? They probably did. I'll be honest, I can't remember. Probably should. But it's probably got something to do with flights and accommodation, just a financial side of things. Try and link the teams up as closely as possible. Fergus O'Neill, he's bowled well. Tell you what, if I'm the Renegades, they come through for the single there. If I'm the Renegades there, honestly, I bring everybody up in the circle. Yes, you maybe give away a 4 or a 6, but you lure Maxwell into the shot to go over the top, because obviously Maxwell wanted an easy single there. Bring everyone up in the circle, make him go over the top, and at worst, at the absolute worst, he doesn't get hold of it and gets just the single anyway. But if you give away a 4 or a 6, you get a chance to have a crack at Osama. I think that was a missed opportunity there for the Renegades. But the Renegades are probably backing themselves here too and happy to just let Maxwell chew up these deliveries. 7 for 106, 5 overs to go. Maxwell needs to start finding the boundary, otherwise this plan just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. If he starts finding the boundary, great plan. Master plan. But he needs to start finding the boundary and quick. He needs to start getting about at least 8 runs and over from here on in. Steps back and lifts Zampa over the offside. Is there protection back there? It doesn't matter because it's gone well over the rope. The helmet's off. And he's going to go for it, says Michelle. And then boom. Slim Shady's been taken over the offside. There was protection out there, but yeah, it doesn't mean much when there's that much distance on the hit. Swing and a miss, and how that has beaten the stumps. I could have taken 2 there, but Maxwell, I don't think he wants to run. How has this missed to the stumps? Yes, it's edged. Maxwell's got a cheeky edge on this. The French cut has saved his hide. Seven for 112. This is fascinating. Fascinating. This is a game of human chess at the moment. Zampa floats it up. Maxwell drills it down to long off. Refuses the single. Doesn't want the single. Now, honestly, Osama is not this terrible a batsman, is he? I realise that he's not a frontline batsman, but he's not this bad, is he? I can understand Maxwell doing this when it's your 10 or 11, as he now chops this away over the rope in cow corner. 4 more, and this is more like it. I think Osama's more than capable of punching a single to get him back on strike. Seven for 116. Cuts this one away. Out to deep point. And they've taken the single. Maxwell brings up his 50. Oh, that's why he took the single. Okay. Cheeky bugger. Cheeky bugger. Takes the single when he's on 49, so he gets his 50. Osama's got a free hit here. I wonder what he does. I wonder if Osama here just fends it away or lets it go through to the keeper, or if he goes, you know what, bollocks this, I'm going to go the big hit. He fends it away. 16 overs gone, 7 for 117. So still 4 overs left. If Maxwell can get his 6 to 8, well, 6 and over, another 24, 40. Okay. That'd be 7 for 141. A few bonus runs in there. They could still get 150. 150 is something to bowl at. At the very least, that's something to bowl at. Richardson back into the attack. He's got 2 overs left. It's unrelenting, though. The Renegades' bowling attack is prime. This is why I said early on in BBL 14 that, oh, chicken nugget, ahoy, mate. Maxwell goes for the reverse, lifts it, 1 bounce, and over the rope, down to deep square leg. Hang on. Deep square leg. No, he reversed it. So backward point. Chicken nugget, you were the old FBI. Oh. How can I make the joke anymore? I do apologize if it was my jokes that made you change your name. But now I'm just going to feel like bloody ordering KFC every time you pop in. Right in the slot. That's poor bowling from Richardson. That was right in the slot, and Maxwell drives this onside over the rope all the way back into the upper tier, 122 metres. Over deep mid-wicket fence for 6. That is a monster of a hit. That was a poor ball. Horrible delivery right in the slot, right in the arc. Oh, ham and cheese, ahoy. Oh, God, all these people in the chat room making me hungry. Reverse sweep. A reverse slog sweep. And he misses it. Biggest 6 of the tournament so far, officially. There you go. Joe Kenner says Maxwell is taking the piss. Of course I remember you, ham and cheese. I feel like a ham and cheese toasty every goddamn time. I've got Gina Ferracini over on the YouTube chat room. Wasted World of Sports, live on YouTube, live on TikTok. I've got Gina Ferracini over on the YouTube chat room, making me hungry for pasta. We've got chicken nuggets now, and ham and cheese always makes me feel like a ham and cheese toasty. Good start to the over, this one. Richardson banks it in short. Maxwell just flat backs it back down the ground. Won't take the single. And my ham and cheese toasties, by the way, you've got me on a tangent here. But my ham and cheese toasties, it's always 3 cheese. 3 different types of cheese, depending on what I've got available at the time. You know, blue cheese, cheddar, and Swiss, or some other combination. Right in the slot again. Maxwell just scoops this one over long off for 6. Oh, my God. Well, that was just a training drill there for Maxwell. An absolute training session. Right in the slot. And he just scoops it over the fence. 89 metres. And they are not out. Oh, has it gone for 6? Yes, it has. 7 for 133. 1 ball left here in Richardson's over. Bring them up. Bring them up. They have got to get a crack. They have got to get a crack at Osama. Well, they've just given him a gift single. I don't understand this from the Renegades. I do not understand it. They have just given him the single. And he retains the strike to go ahead and do some more damage. I don't understand that. Bring everybody up in the circle. If he hits a 4 or a 6, so be it. You get a chance to bowl it as Sama. Maxwell doing a Steve Smith, doing a Matt Short. He's just doing it in a completely different way. 59 or 37, 3 overs remain. Usama Mir still on 0. Sutherland back into the attack. Full toss, and that's surely a no ball. Maxwell has sent it for 6, and it will be a free hit. That has got to be a no ball. That was so far over waist height. Well, it's not been called. And Maxwell is shaking his head. He can't believe it. That is so high above waist height. That is up at his tits. That's going to hit him right in the nipple. Unbelievable. And again! And he sends it again. And now this one has surely got to be called. Back-to-back 6s. And he can't believe it has not been called again for a second time. That's another one right on the tits. These should be back-to-back no balls. What is going on out there? How are these not getting called? And Maxwell's just like, I don't care. I don't care. I'll hit him for 6 anyway. Again, he's furious, Maxwell, and I completely understand. Does he have to get smashed in the head for it to be called a no ball? Unbelievable. This one goes in short. Maxwell hooks it away for 6 more. He's furious now. Maxwell is furious. This could be a 36 run over. 666, mark of the beast. And maybe, just maybe, the Renegades might just be going, you should have called those no balls. He's furious. This is actually reminiscent of that time when Curtly Ambrose got asked to take his wristband off and then absolutely hammered the Australian batsman because he was so angry about having to take his wristband off. Dean Jones it was who made that happen. And maybe, just maybe, these no calls on the balls above waist height have just woken Maxwell up. The beast inside him is awoken. They're changing the balls. Chance for me to have a quick whiz. Well, who wins now? 7 for 152. Holy hell. Can we get another 6er? Maxwell goes after it. It's going to take one bounce. And well fielded. Diving to field it out there was Bethel. Otherwise, it was going to be a 4. Oh, Usama Mir's come through for the single. And he was sent back. He had to go racing back. He was nearly run out. Maxwell gets it through. Past the man at point. And it's got just enough to get out to the boundary. 22 runs off this over. Oh, Gurpreet, both of them were no balls in my opinion. I can't understand how it wasn't called. They were both clearly above waist height. Well, I mean, it's not done the Renegades any favours, as Maxwell was just trying to punch it away for a single, and it's a dot ball. But the job's been done. They've got something to bowl at. 2 overs remain, 7 for 156. They've finally got their chance to have a go at Usama. Usama just needs to find a single and get Maxwell back on strike. What a performance it's been. How good were those old West Indies teams, though, right? Just talking about that Curtly Ambrose situation. Curtly Ambrose, Courtney Walsh. I think there was the Benjamins. I think there were 2 brothers, Benjamin. Ian Bishop was one as well. They were an immense bowling unit. And here we go, Bethel into the bowling attack. Swing and a miss and stumped, and Usama's gone. Ball number 1. Did he get his bat back down? Did he get his bat back? See, they've taken so long to have a crack at Usama. I stand by my call. I'm no captain. I'm no coach. All I do is play video games, but they were giving Maxwell those gift singles at the end of overs. Bring everyone up in the circle. Have a crack at Usama. He's quite possibly fine here, but it's a dot ball. They've chewed up a ball, nonetheless. Taylor says, what do I think about those 2 full tosses from Sutherland? How they were not called no balls, I will never know. Actually, Ando, at the innings break, I've got something really cool. I've got in the, let's call it a warehouse. We'll call it a warehouse. It's my spare room, where I keep a whole bunch of stock for my web store, and I've got a whole bunch of memorabilia back there as well. I've got something really cool, and I'll bring it out at the innings break. Speaking about the old school West Indies. Well, it wasn't a stumping, it was a stumping chance. But it is a dot ball, importantly here for the Renegades. And another dot. Well, see, this is it. This is it. 2 dot balls. Usama has got Maxwell trapped down the other end. And this is why the Renegades needed... If you give up a 4 or a 6, okay, it's 4 or 6 more runs, but you keep Maxwell down the other end. He's got to go for it here, Usama. Top edge, he'll be out. This will be caught. This won't be dropped. And he's on his way, and Maxwell is still stuck down the other end. Big Josh Brown, I think it is there. 8 for 156. And the look on Josh Brown's face there suggests that he nearly dropped that. Let's have a look. Oh, he did nearly drop that. Bobbled it. And they just can't get Maxwell back on strike. He is furious at Usama here. He didn't need to do it. He's just got to paddle it around. I would need to see the replay, but I'm pretty sure that there is nobody at short fine leg. He's just got to manufacture a little paddle around the leg side and get Maxwell down the other end. He didn't need to do that. Poor batting. And poor Maxi, he's stuck down the other. They may as well just see out the over now, to be perfectly honest. There's no point bringing Maxwell on strike for 1 ball. Steckerty's just got to fend out these next 3. Well, I suppose it'd be potentially 6 more runs. A single, Maxwell can hit a 4 or 6, and then another. That exact shot! That's the shot! that Osama should have played. Mark Steckity is a smart man. He's got a big brain to go with his big body. Maxwell on strike. So he's got to go for a boundary here, Maxwell. And then the single. But surely, if he gets a boundary here, the Renegades bring everybody up inside the circle, surely. 8 for 157. They have manufactured something to bowl at here, at least. The Melbourne Stars. Rock My Balls over on YouTube says, go Melbourne. Which one, mate? These are both Melbourne teams. Maxwell slogs at this one. It's a dot ball. All right, everyone up inside the circle. You're driving me crazy here. They can't possibly just give Maxwell a gift single here. Or maybe they can. Glenn Maxwell has the strike for the final over. The Renegades deserve 36 off this over. Rock My Balls, they're both Melbourne teams. This is the Melbourne Stars versus the Melbourne Renegades. So when you come into the chat room and say, go Melbourne, you need to specify. Mads, ahoy, welcome back. Rafiq, ahoy, welcome back, mate. Oh, you know what? I picked the Stars at the start, and I think Maxwell has got the Stars in a very good position. I mean, no matter what happens now, Maxwell has given the Stars momentum, and we have seen the important... Hey, Ricky Ponting's got a baseball glove. That's funny. I happen to have a baseball right here, Ricky. Incoming. He's bowled him. Richardson's bowled Maxwell. Ball number 1. And the big show is over for the night. Well, with the bat, he could still come up with an absolute miracle in the field. What a show he has put on for us, though. Glenn Maxwell, take a bow. I mean, he'll be furious about that, but he has got his team well and truly back into this contest. Okay. Honest question. Why does Ricky Ponting have a baseball glove in the commentary box? And why do I have a baseball? We obviously did not coordinate this. Why and how has this happened? That is the most bizarre. It was just meant to be. Ando says Ricky Ponting and I are twins. This one, actually, speaking about memorabilia, the reason that I have this out was this was a foul ball from a Brisbane Bandits game. All right, Peter Siddle lifts this one over the top. Oh, just short of the man at mid-on and through. They could come back for 2 here. And Peter Siddle will retain the strike. Well, maybe Peter Siddle can do some damage with the bat here at the back end. But we have a game on our hands here, at least. They've given themselves something to bowl at. Well, Maxwell's given themselves something to bowl at. 9 for 160. Richardson's hurt. I was actually going to bring that up, but I thought the moment had passed. But yes, Michelle, since Richardson's hurt here and stretching it out, we'll talk about it. That look on his face when he missed the ball was glorious. That is meme-worthy. Meme-worthy, that face. Siddle with a swing and a miss. And, Richardson's hurt here. He is not 100%. Luckily for him, he's not bowling a Maxwell. Yeah, that's got to be turned into a meme. The look on old mate's face there when he realised he missed the ball. 3 balls left in this innings. Oh, and he pulls out of this one, Richardson. He is not happy. Half volley, Siddle lifts it over the top of middle for 4. Peter Siddle winding back the clock. He never ages, this man. 9 for 164. They have ended up with a score and a half. I want to see what the odds are. The Renegades were almost unbackable favourites at one point there in this innings. And I think maybe the Stars have just eked out favouritism here. Let's see what Sportsbet says. Oh, Sportsbet agrees. $1.68 the Stars. Favourites for the Renegades, $2.15. And that's wide. Way wide outside off stump. It's way wide. Richardson's done. Richardson is done. Oh, you never like to see... Well, Zampa can't bowl. You can't replace a pace bowler with 2 balls of spin, surely. That's not right. Zampa might be bowling some paces. This will be fun to see. You've got to do like-for-like bowler, don't you? Zampa might be in to bowl a couple of balls of pace. Now this will be fun. Nope, he's bowling spin. Well, I didn't think you could do that. I did not think you could do that. I thought you had to go like for like and a dot ball because the pace is off. Well, in fairness, they've changed a few rules in BBL 14 that I wasn't aware of. So I thought you had to go like for like. Siddle charges, gets underneath it. It should be taken, and it's an easy catch down there on the fence. 165, the Stars. Oh, by God, they'll take that. It didn't look like they were even going to get to 100 at one point, and then enter Glenn Maxwell. Controlled that innings so well. Wow. The Renegades have suddenly got work to do here. We've got a game on our hands, which is fantastic. Bowled out for 165. All right. Some memorabilia. I'll see if I can find it easily. I should be able to. But this is going to be fun. We were talking about West Indies, the West Indies team back in the day. So, this is going to be a good lot of fun. Yeah, Fraser McGurk needs to find some runs tonight. Josh Brown needs to lead from the front as well. And when I say from the front, I mean the top order. It was 4 for 45. There we go. Confirmation. It was 4 for 45 when Glenn Maxwell came to the crease. And it got even worse for them from that point on as well, because they were 5 for 50-something, 6 for 60. And I remember it 7 for 70-something. And they've ended up with 165 on the back of Glenn Maxwell, putting on a very, very big show. Okay, give me a couple of minutes. I'll see if I can find these things. If I can't find them quickly and easily, I won't bother. But otherwise, innings break. We'll be back for the run chase right after this with some memorabilia, hopefully. Fingers crossed. And before I head off, I'll just quickly pop an ad there on the YouTube stream. All right, couple of minutes. All right. Ryan. Who's going to win? Tag me in comments. Jeez, I think the Stars have got themselves on top. Renegades on top. Ahoy, mate. Welcome along. All right, so who was I talking to? I think it was Andy. Andy! About the West Indies. Hang on, let me scroll back up quickly. Ando. It was Ando. I was close. I think I've said it before on streams. Every time I hear the name Andy, I understand we're talking about Ando now, but every time I hear the name Andy, I think about that Simpsons episode, the Australian episode, Mr. Prime Minister. Gonna take this all the way to the Prime Minister. Hey, Mr. Prime Minister. Andy. James Martin, Maxwell, Innings was mind-blowing. Honestly, out of all the mind-blowing stuff that we have seen this weekend, Steve Smith's 121, not out. Matt Short's performance for the Hurricanes, his 100. That is the best, in my opinion, what we saw tonight. Glenn Maxwell tonight, because Maxwell did it all on his own. Steve Smith and Matt Short had support, not to take away from what they did. I mean, they knocked the ever-living bollocks off the opposition. But Maxwell tonight came in at 4 for 45, single-handedly controlled the entirety of the rest of the innings, and they have now got a defendable total. So in my opinion, much more impressive. As impressive as Steve Smith was, impressive as Matt Short was, that outshines all of them in my opinion. What Maxwell did tonight, he 4 for 45 they were when he came in. And they are now a real red-hot chance. They are a chance of winning this game. But anyway, I'll save the. I did find the memorabilia, but I'll save it for. I'll save it for Ando. Should he pop back in? $165 when all looked like it looked like at one point they weren't even going to make 100. We were talking about they won't even make 100. And yes, they're the favourites on Sportsbet. Sportsbet are my bookie of choice, by the way. That is not an ad. That's not a promotion. That is just my personal preference, my personal opinion. And they are favourites. $1.68. Jordan Awesome. How do I think the Renegades will go? Josh Brown. I love Josh Brown. I'm so disappointed that he left the Brisbane Heat. The Brisbane Heat are my team, obviously. I'm disappointed that he left the Brisbane Heat because he was a big part of the Brisbane Heat winning last year. So, very sad to see him go. But the Brisbane Heat's loss is the Melbourne Renegades' gain. He could be in for a big one tonight. Fraser McGurk. Beware Fraser McGurk. He hasn't performed to his pinnacle of abilities so far in BBL 14. Could it be a night made for a Fraser McGurk to outshine Glenn Maxwell? Possibly. We'll see. Nick Clark says Josh Brown pretty much won the title on his own bat last season. Yeah. Well, yeah, 100%. Josh Brown, Spencer Johnson, they were the two keys for the Brisbane Heat. And Spencer, he's not having the best of years. I think Spencer Johnson, he's obviously still young. He seems very easily rattled. Like, if you go hard at Spencer Johnson for the first ball, this would be my game plan against Spencer Johnson. Go hard the first ball. Now, you could get yourself out. Spencer Johnson's 29? No. Really? Holy Jesus. Wow. But anyway, despite his age, go at him early. And if you hit him for 4 off the first couple of balls, he's easily rattled, basically, is what I'm trying to say. If he gets on top of you early with a few dot balls, he's a confidence bowler. He's a confidence player. He doesn't work his way back into an innings. If you tonk him early, he ends up having an absolute shocker. So I would pretty much go all or nothing at him early and put him on the back foot. Wow, 29. He doesn't look a day over 21. I honestly thought that like he was really, really young. That's insane. Well, Bo Webster's the same, right? Watching the tests against India, and it's like, here's the debutant, Bo Webster. And I'm like, what? Bo Webster's... So, yeah. Bo Webster on debut. I'm like, oh, great to see they're giving a youngster a crack. It's like, Bo Webster's 31. What? Anyway. Onions, la la la. Did Max Walker be a commentator? Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was. Hang on. I think he was. Pretty sure he was. You keep your teeth in a jar beside the bed. Nice. I probably will one day too. Seems like a lot of work though. I reckon when my teeth go, when I reach that point, my teeth are gone. I reckon I'll just accept it. A lot of work, false teeth. $165 though for the Renegades. Before I was born, Max was a cricketer. I realised that. I've got a in the memorabilia room, I actually have a board game, Max Walker's Cricket. It's a card game, a card-based cricket game. Well, card and dice. Max Walker's Cricket. TB, can't wait to see Harry Dixon bat. And bat, they are going to have to do 165. The Stars have managed to set a total here. Glenn Maxwell's managed to set a total. Oh, I would love a ham and cheese toasty. 3 cheese. Sometimes even 4 cheese. Matty Boy 728. Ahoy. We're in the innings break here. Melbourne Stars somehow have ended up with 165 when all looked lost. Hopefully not very long, Matty boy. Hopefully we're only a couple of minutes away from the restart. Hopefully. So I'm excited for this. This is going to be a good game. A good chase. Josh Brown, Fraser McGurk. Oh! I should set up the... over on the YouTube screen, I've got my multi on the screen. I should go ahead and copy this one over. We got 2 ticked off on the first innings. So I've got Usama to take a wicket, Siddle to take a wicket, and we've got Seifert with 10 plus, and Josh Brown to hit a 6. That's our 4 legs for this run chase. Let's see how it goes. The Stars all looked lost at 4 for 45, 4 for 47, whatever it was they were. 4 for 40-something. And then Glenn Maxwell. The big show. I actually think the Melbourne Stars are favourites now. Slight favourites. If you had have asked me 7 or 8 overs into the Melbourne Stars batting, I would have said Renegades are well on top. I think I probably did say Renegades are well on top. But Glenn Maxwell, single-handedly, Glenn Maxwell turned this game on its head. The big names have been stepping up this weekend, right? Steve Smith, Matt Short, Glenn Maxwell. Will it be Fraser McGurk for the Renegades? Will it be Josh Brown for the Renegades? Who will take the reins? The Melbourne Stars, it's a must-win. The Renegades, probably a must-win as well, really. But the Renegades can probably more afford a loss. Hang on, let's bring up the table. Where's the table? What we do know, though, is whoever wins this game does leap up above the Brisbane Heat into 4th spot. Okay, table. So the Renegades have only played 7. So the Renegades have a game in hand over the Scorchers, who are above or equal with them, but above on net run rate. So, I mean, the Renegades obviously don't want to lose. Obviously. They don't want to lose. But the Renegades could potentially afford to lose, if that makes sense. Because a loss here, they'll have played 8. The Stars, this is their 9th game. They've only got 1 more left. They have to win them all. They have to win this one. Whoever wins this leapfrogs into 4th spot. It's non-negotiable for the Stars. The Renegades obviously want to win, and it would obviously be better for them if they won, but they are the team that could afford a loss and still potentially come back. I think the Stars take it home, though. They've got the momentum going into the innings break. Momentum is not necessarily something... We've talked about it before on the streams, but momentum... You think about momentum in footy... Rugby league, rugby union, AFL, your footy, basketball, those sorts of games. You think about momentum, not so much with cricket, but what BBL 14 has really opened my eyes to is just how important momentum is. The Stars were on the back foot early, but they went into that innings break with all the momentum. And if they can knock over a couple of quick wickets... They have ended up with something really, really defendable. A really, really defendable total, 165. Big Josh Brown. I've got him to hit a 6. Seifert to get 10 plus runs. The run chase about to commence. Oh, it's going to be a good one. I'm so excited. Marcus Harris down the non-striker's end. Josh Brown to face the first ball. .165. The score set by the Melbourne Stars. So who do the... well, that answers my question. Who do they turn to bowl the first over? They turn to Joel Paris. His best figures of 3 for 35. Anku Sharma says Stars will win today. Paris in for the first ball. Brown goes after it. Gets the inside edge back past the stumps. Back past the keeper. And it slows up on that outfield. And they'll come back for a third. But how slow is that outfield? That is insane. Well, Josh Brown's got away with one there. The Renegades have got away with one there. And it's none for 3 to start off. Could easily have been another wicket off the first ball scenario. The inside edge back past the stumps. Paris to Harris. Harris just hangs the bat out. Some beautiful shape away from the left-hander, and somehow it doesn't draw the edge. A slip in place here for the Stars. They're going for the wickets early. I had tipped the Stars and Kushama. I had tipped the Stars to win this from the very start. The Renegades, though, have been my second team, my underdog team through BBL 14. I go for the Brisbane Heat. When the Brisbane Heat have shown that they're obviously not going to win this year, I kind of attached myself to the Melbourne Renegades, so I'm a little torn tonight, but I did have a feeling the Stars would win this. Should be a great run chase, though. None for 4 off the first three deliveries. Paris into Josh Brown. Brown could go big. That's wide down the leg side. Well, an appeal, but I think that's just to distract from the wide, which isn't called, actually, so it obviously brushed the hip. An early wicket would be big. Your local fish show, I don't want to talk about the Brisbane Heat. They just, apart from last year, they just continue to let me down. Swing and a miss here from Brown. They race through for a leg bye. 5 off this over. A runner ball at the moment. Oh, the bloody Brisbane Heat. A winning team, and they... Like, honestly, why wouldn't you take... Why not retain Josh Brown? But first draft, let's pick Colin Munro. A shocking captain and a guy who is out of form with the bat. Let's pick Colin Munro as our first draft pick and let Josh Brown, who pretty much single-handedly won us the competition last year, let's let him go to the Melbourne Renegades. Dot ball to finish. Anyway, sorry, I'm a really, really devastated Brisbane Heat supporter. Dot ball to finish the over, and the Renegades are none for 5 after 1. Speaking of Brisbane Heat players that they've let go, Stoinis to bowl the second over here for the Melbourne Stars. And he starts off with a wide down leg side. Way wide. Poor start. Josh Brown, 3 from 3. Harris, 1 off 3. Stoinis, a wide down the leg side again. Well, he still hasn't corrected it. He starts with 2 wides. He puts his hand up to his teammates. He's sorry that I suck. I'll try and get it right this time. Third time lucky, perhaps, here for Stoinis. 2 wides. And just 3 runs. 3 runs for the Melbourne Renegades. Just in case, ahoy mate. In again, bangs it in short, and it's wide of the offside now. 3 wides in a row. A hat trick of wides for Stoinis, and he just can't get it right at the moment. 2 wides down the leg side. He overcorrects, overcompensates, and sends a wide down the offside. Well, geez, they might get the runs off Stoinis' bowling alone at the moment. He might just bowl wides all the way through for the win for the Renegades. And that's a better one from Stoinis. Full, swing it into the right-hander, and he gets the inside edge. Out to Siddle at short fine leg for a dot ball. And a sarcastic round of applause from the crowd as well. Just in case, that innings from Maxwell is the pick of the weekend for mine. And it's the pick of the weekend for mine because he had no help. Steve Smith opened the batting, I'm pretty sure, if memory serves me correctly. Matt Short opened the batting. Maxwell came in at 4 for 45 as Brown prods at this outside off and somehow doesn't get the edge. 2 dot balls for Stoinis now to back up his hat-trick of wides. So considering the pressure and the moment and the consequences, potential consequences of it not working out, Maxwell's innings is far superior in my opinion. We've seen some great innings. That's wide outside off again. He's 4 wides in the over. Stoinis is getting it all wrong here. And these are just gift runs for the Renegades. Wide, 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 dot, dot, wide. NRL Super King, ahoy, welcome back. Up the NRL asks, who wins? Geez, well, the Stars were slight favourites, but after this over, geez. Brown turns it down to long on for a single. It's the first runs off the bat this over. Wow. Wide down the leg side, even wider down the leg side, and then an overcorrection outside off. Stoinis way out of sorts here. None for 10, 1.3. But he's bowled 7 balls. And it's wide again, but draws the top edge from Harris, the leading edge, and the wicket. Stoinis gets the breakthrough. Harris is gone. The early wicket. They needed an early wicket. They've got it, and Stoinis is the bowler. It was going to be wide down the leg side. Harris could have left it. He didn't need to play at it. He's tried to scoop it. Fine. Down to the boundary on the leg side. He gets a leading edge, and Duckett takes the catch. A simple catch there at point. Marcus Harris out for 1. The Renegades 1 for 10. Here come the Stars. First wicket down. Ham and cheese is pumped. Steckety with the breakthrough. Who'd have thought after those first few deliveries and then a couple of dots and then another wide. All right, here we go. Jake Fraser McGurk. It looks like Melbourne. I reckon I can say with 100% authority, Melbourne are going to win tonight. Fraser McGurk. Is this an innings built for him? Steckety, 1 for 6, but only 2 runs off the bat. He could have been 1 for 2, and that's a full toss. Brown turns it off the legs. Caught! A full toss! And Osama Mir takes the catch, and Steckety's got a second in the over. Josh Brown's gone. And this one cannot possibly be called a no ball for above waist height after what we saw against Glenn Maxwell. What a catch from Osama Mir. Steckety gets 2 in what has been an abysmal over. To be honest, his radar has been well and truly off. 4 wides in the over, 2 wickets, 6 runs. That over had absolutely everything. The Renegades are 2 for 11. This game has been incredible. 10 balls, basically, yeah. Unbelievable. Somebody said 10 balls. Somebody predicted 10 balls. Callan. God, I'm pretty much going to be 50-50 with how I say that. I'm sure Callan Dub said 10 balls, probably. Two for 11. We are so bad, says Cooper. Fraser McGurk on strike to Paris. A dot ball, just turning away there to mid-wicket. Pressure here now on Fraser McGurk. My multi is just done tonight. Ben Duckett let me down. Stoinis let me down. Josh Brown let me down. They're all letting me down tonight. Swing and a miss outside off. Fraser McGurk backs away. Gives himself room. Nothing but air. What a crazy over from Steckety. Crazy over from Steckety. 4 wides. 2 wickets. 2 runs off the bat. Fraser McGurk turns it away to the leg side. Can't beat the man in the circle. Dot ball. 3 dot balls to start this over for Paris. Two for 11. 2.3 gone. Renegades need 155 of 105. Certainly not out of reach despite the early wickets. Oh, Fraser McGurk has nearly lifted this straight to mid-off. It bounces a metre in front of the man at mid-off that I think is Maxwell. Why would it be Max? No, I don't think Maxwell's fielding there. Nearly another wicket anyway. Paris, 4 dot balls to start. McGurk goes for the big one. Off the pads, down to short fine leg for a single. A leg by. Leg by is the call. It's 2 for 12. 1 ball left in this over. It's been a good one for Paris. Matty boy, welcome back. Yeah, Marcus Stoinis, he came within the hair of a bee's nutsack of hitting the roof with that shot. A beautiful outswinger right on target. And a single down to mid-on. 2 for 13, 3 overs gone. What a start for the Melbourne Stars. Settle into the attack, and he starts the radar completely on target. A nice full delivery right on the toes. And Bethel just fends it back. No run. Yeah, we'll have to do the Supercoach next season. We're doing tipping and fantasy for NRL this upcoming season. Settle in again. Bethel backs away to give himself room. Can't beat the man in the circle on the onside. Mid-wicket there. Cuts it off. Waste a World of Sports, of course, live on YouTube. Live on TikTok. Honestly, we do most of our content on YouTube. People on TikTok joining us live, thank you so much. But if you are interested in some extra content from the Waste of World of Sports crew, we do have other videos available, podcasts, and that available on the YouTube channel. If you'd like to check it out. Full toss through to the keeper. Now this will be called. This will be called. That's a no ball. Well, no, it's a top ball. It hasn't been called. Well, look. Consistent. They let those ones from Maxwell go. Consistency. A dot ball there for Siddle. It might not be right, but consistency. They didn't call those ones against Maxwell. They can't call that one. Siddle bangs this one in a little shorter. It's another dot ball. 4 dot balls to start. 2 for 13. The Renegades just can't make contact, clean contact. What a power play. It's been 2 wickets and only 13 runs so far in this power play. Nathan May says, surely Siddle is in his 60s. He's a vampire. I swear to God, Peter Siddle's a vampire. Well, except for the fact that we've seen him out during the daytime, haven't we? So there goes that theory. But the man never ages. Unbelievable. 2 balls left. Was that edged? A beautiful end swing that's beaten everybody. It was too good for everybody, that delivery. And it's away for 4. Back past the keeper. What a ball from Siddle. Now that is a ripper of a delivery, and it has beaten everybody. 4 buys. That is unfortunate. That do not deserve 4 runs off that ball. That absolutely did not deserve a 4. Siddle in again. Bethel can't beat the short third man. It's a dot ball to finish. 2 for 17 after the power play. That's possibly the worst power play that we've seen in BBL 14 so far, right? That might be the single worst power play we've seen. That's what I'm thinking. 2 for 17. The current run rate for poor Aaron Finch. Why did they cut to a shot of poor Finchy in the commentary box? Harris into Bowley's third. None for 5 so far. Cuts it away. Beats the man at point and goes away for 4. A much-needed boundary. No, whoever wins this game goes 4th. Ham and cheese. Even better. The winner of this game goes above the Brisbane Heat into the top 4. Into that last finals position. At least temporarily. Paris straightens it up. Fraser McGurk gives himself room again. Yeah, but the Brisbane Heat also had a washout against the Sixers, I think. The Brisbane Heat... It's 2 for 22, by the way. 2 for 22. Richie. Paris in again. Bowled him! Bethel's been bowled. Clean bowled by Paris. It's 3 for 22. Bethel's gone for 1 of 7. The Stars are storming home here. Sorry to bring up the Storm, Michelle. But obviously I wasn't talking about them. Oh, it wasn't clean bowled. It was off the edge. What was he doing there, Bethel? He's backed away to give himself room. And it is an outside edge onto the stumps. So he wasn't clean bowled after all. Like I said, it was an edge back onto the stumps. Bethel's gone for 1. The Renegades are reeling here. Who is going to play the Maxwell role? Fraser McGurk is the obvious choice. 3 for 22. Bloody Australian Idol. I still question how, honestly, the music business is so funny. Oh, I won't even get into it. Anyway, I used to drink down at the Hard Rock Cafe with Amy Shark, and somehow now, 20 years later, she's famous and on Australia. Anyway, 3 for 22. Seifert into bat. The Stars on top, but let's not forget the Melbourne Stars innings. They were in a very similar situation. Who's going to play the Maxwell role, though? Fraser McGurk, the obvious choice. Sutherland, Dixon, Rogers, O'Neill, Zampa, still to come. Ham and Cheese says, what do the BBL players do for the rest of the year? They play for their clubs. Some of them go on to play the other tournaments around the world, like the IPL. Seifert hangs the bat out, somehow beats the edge. It's 3 for 22, 5 overs gone. Obviously, some of them get called up for Australian duty. It wouldn't be a bad life, though. Actually, the old Panther and I were talking about this the other night. Funnily enough, we were talking about the minimum wage. Minimum wage for a Big Bash player. As of 2023, the minimum salary for a Big Bash player is $200,000 per season. This is for at least 6 players on each club's roster, and these players are considered marquee players. The total payment pool for each men's team is $3 million. The maximum salary for an overseas player is $420,000. The average retainer for players increased by more than 50% in 2023-2024 to around $160,000. The top players can earn more than $400,000. Players are paid in 3 equal installments on or before the 15th of December, January, and February. Players can be terminated if they are injured and won't be available for the at least the minimum number of matches. Yeah, I would take that. I would absolutely take that. And but that's nothing. That's nothing. Like, it's easy to go 200,000. That's nothing considering that the IPL, as far as I'm aware, and maybe even a shorter competition, and they get millions. A $200,000 player in the BBL would easily rake in $800,000 if they got picked up by an IPL team. So comparatively, it's actually not that much money. I mean, I would take it. I would love to get paid $200,000 for 3 months of work. I mean, that'd be a dream. $400,000 for an international, right? So Colin Munro's getting paid upwards of $400,000 for the Brisbane Heat to toss up the garbage he's been tossing up. Three for 25 here. The Melbourne Renegades under the pump, but we said that about the Stars too. But who's going to play the Maxwell role? It's got to be Fraser McGurk, right? For the Renegades, it has to be Fraser McGurk. Steckety with his last ball, lifted up by Seifert down the ground. A slow outfield. And they'll come back for 2. 3 for 27. The best money, though, honestly, well, there's probably other options as well. But one thing, my biggest regret in life, I don't have a lot of regrets in life because there's no point. There is absolutely no point looking back with regret. You move on. You learn and you move on. You accept and you move on. You know what I'm trying to say? But one thing that I've always sort of held on to that I just can't let go of, my biggest regret in life, is when I was little, I was a big tennis player. As Fraser McGurk slashes at this, gets the top edge away to the boundary, down to the third man fence for 4. Well, it could be Fraser McGurk. But yeah, I was big into tennis when I was little, and I was still young, and I was still fit. And of course, tennis, talking about $200,000 for a few months. If you play tennis and get to the top level, you get $200,000 for a couple of days' work. You could play the Australian Open. All you need to do is get good enough at tennis to qualify for a Grand Slam. Qualify for the Australian Open, and you get like $100,000, 80 to $100,000 if you get eliminated in the first round. You could literally go out and play one match and get paid $80,000. Put that son of a bitch in the bank. You're set. You wouldn't even need to keep playing. Seifert drives this away for 4 through the offside, through the covers. Stoinis with a good effort to try and cut it off. Yeah, so as I said, don't have a lot of regrets in life because there's no point, but that is a big one. That's a big one for me. Not keeping up my tennis and pursuing that. Webster, a 4, a 1 and a 4 to start. Turned away for another single. They're going to push for 2 here? No, they think better of it and settle for 1. 130 needed, 129 off 80 balls. 3 for 36 here, the Renegades. Seifert and Fraser McGurk. Is this the night that Fraser McGurk goes ballistic? Clicks into gear. Swing and a miss, outside off. He backed away, gave himself room, too much room. And Webster beats him, beats the outside edge. What do you mean, nope? You can't say that. We don't know yet. There's a long way left in this game. I mean, the Stars were in this exact situation. Fraser McGurk. That's big enough. That's gone all the way. And it's another 6. Fraser McGurk lifts it over long on for 6. The long on fielder diving over the rope to try and flick it back in. But he had enough on it, did Fraser McGurk. Fraser McGurk is the hope for the Renegades. He is the Maxwell hope. 3 for 43, 7 overs gone. The required run rate, 9.46. So we always talk about the run chasers and keeping that required run rate in check. 80 metres there with the on drive over the long on rope. Beautiful shot from Fraser McGurk. Keeping the Renegades in it. Beautiful little flick of the wrist there. Steckety back into the attack. Seifert on strike. Happy to just turn it away and bring Fraser McGurk back on strike. 122 needed off 77 balls. 3 for 43. Very, very similar scenarios here. Maxwell did it for the Stars. Fraser McGurk could hold the keys here for the Renegades. Steckety. Beautiful straight delivery. Bended back down to mid-off, no run. 19 off 16. He looked very uncomfortable to start with. He hasn't been in the best form, Fraser McGurk. He has yet to click into gear in BBL 14. Could this be his night? Well, he's drilled this one on the leg side as well. Not enough on it. And the catch is taken, and they know how big that is. Hilton Cartwright plants himself under it at long on. And the Stars know just how massive that wicket is. Fraser McGurk is on his way. Hilton Cartwright is pumped. Toddy Orr. Another fail, another fall for Brown. Oh, well, I'm a Brisbane Heat supporter, so Josh Brown's done his work as far as I'm concerned. Josh Brown won the Brisbane Heat, the tournament last year, so I would hate for him to go and do it for somebody else. Michelle says, is that Toddy O? No, that's Toddy Orr. That's Toddy O-R. Will Sutherland out to bat. It's 4 for 44. Very similar sounding scoreline. Jordan Awesome reckons the Melbourne Stars have done this. May I remind everybody. Now, remember, I tipped the Melbourne Stars, but may I remind everybody of the Melbourne Stars scoreline when Maxwell came into bat. Now, I understand that Will Sutherland is probably no Glenn Maxwell. The Renegades' chance was probably with Fraser McGurk there. 4 for 44, though. Wow. Just the one run and a wicket. Steckity, despite the fact that his radar was all over the place to start with, he has taken wickets and not leaked runs. He's 3 for 12, Steckity. He has 3 for 12. Steckity started with 3 wides. 4 wides in the first over. 3 wides, 2 dot balls, another wide. He's found his radar well and truly now. Steckity, former Brisbane Heat player, of course, 3 for 13 off 2.5. After the first 3 balls, you would never have imagined that Steckity would be the best bowler for the Stars. Seifert pulls this one away. Just a single. 8 overs gone. It's 4 for 46. In my opinion, as a Brisbane Heat supporter, we have, honestly, one of the worst in the entire BBL. One of the worst retention and recruitment records of all time, I think. And what's up with... Is Jimmy Pearson injured? The only plausible reason that I will accept is that Jimmy Pearson is injured. If he is not injured, I understand that they spent some money on Alsop, but he's been terrible. The only excuse I will accept, and if Jimmy Pearson now, if I'm Jimmy Pearson and I'm not injured, I'm going, bollocks to you. I'm going to go somewhere else and play BBL 15. And they'll only have themselves to blame. Anyway, Osama Mir into bowl, keeping the pressure on here. There is no respite here for the Renegades batsman. Osama Mir starts with a dot ball and a single. 4 for 47, Sutherland on strike. Ezra Robertson says, geez, this game has switched. Did anyone get on the Stars when they were about $8 live betting? I was too busy commentating, so... Excuse me, I missed out on that, but yeah. It would have been a great trade. A fantastic game for trading. The required run rate now drifting out beyond 10 and over. Beautiful delivery from Osama. Flights it up. Right on middle stump. A little bit of turn away. Seifert just fends it out to the offside for another dot ball. Only 2 runs off this over. I needed Seifert to make 10, so I got that. I'll tick that one off. Seifert just pushes this down to long off for a single. Moves to 12. Yeah, I had Seifert for 10, but I also needed Josh Brown to hit a 6. The big goof. Well, he didn't do that, did he? I also needed Ben Duckett. Ben Duckett almost hit a 6, though. Almost. Ben Duckett was about a half a metre inside the rope. Good first over there from Osama Mir. None for 3 off it. The Renegades 4 for 49. 9 overs gone. Michelle, I'm patiently waiting for Ando to come back so that I can show off the memorabilia. I found it. I did take the innings break to go and find some cool West Indies memorabilia. I thought it was a good hook. Keep him around till the innings break, but in fairness, he probably found something a bit more exciting. Stoinis into bowl. Didn't quite get the job done with the bat tonight, Stoinis. Can he do it with the ball? He probably got upset that I called him Andy. Is what happened. Stoinis, beautiful ball, banging it in a little short. And Sutherland just fends it back down the ground. Now, Stoinis is racing back to his mark here, which suggests to me that the Stars are a little bit behind the over rate. Stoinis is trying to race through this over. Drifting onto the pads, Sutherland glances it away on the leg side. Just another single. That required run rate now almost hitting 11. Incredible. We always say, right, we talk about it every single stream, you never, ever judge a pitch until both teams have batted on it. Once again, it's proven to be the case. It's as old as the hills, that saying, never judge a pitch until both teams have batted on it. But there's a reason it's as old as the hills, because it is so true. You think your team is doing really, really bad. They're possibly not. You don't know till the next team gets in and has their go. And look at what's happening. These innings are so similar. But the Stars had Glenn Maxwell. That could be the difference. Fraser McGurk was the obvious choice to play that role, but he's out. Who's going to play the role now for the Renegades? 4 runs off this over for Stoinis. The run rate required is blown out. It's past 11. Four for 53. Geez, they've pretty much got to call the power surge. It's another one of those situations they've almost got to call the surge immediately. Final ball, Stoinis. Attempter outside off there for Seifert. Happy to just push away for the single. 4 for 54. 10 overs gone. It's drinks break. Whiz break for me. The Stars on top. Ham and cheese, that was the end of the 10th. We're halfway through. 4 for 54. Very similar vibe, very similar feeling. But the problem is no Glenn Maxwell for the Renegades, right? Like Fraser McGurk was their Glenn Maxwell. And the Stars stay alive. Bun Buns says, annoying when run required is low and the chasing team plays test cricket and then it gets out of hand. Well, in fairness, sometimes you can only bat as well as you're allowed to. The Renegades bowled extremely well at the start of their innings. And the Stars are bowling extremely well now, so it's not always as easy as just going out there and tonking runs. You can only do what the bowlers allow you to do. It's it's a little more complicated than that, and certainly the Stars have bowled very, very well. Osama back into the attack. If we can get Osama Mir to take a wicket and Peter Siddle for a wicket, then at least we've got 3 of the 4 legs. Josh Brown let us down. Sutherland with a half volley just punches it over the offside for 6. Over extra cover. Cool, calm, collected. Will Sutherland. That was right there in the slot. 83 metres into the stands. 4 for 61. Drops it in a little shorter this time and a little more down leg side, turning back. Down to long on for a single. 8 off this over so far. It's a good one for the Renegades. Seifert, 16 off 18. Happy to just turn away a single. When are they going to call the surge? Maybe they're just giving Sutherland a couple of overs here to get his eye in. That's the only thing that I can make sense of. It's all I can think of. Just give Sutherland a couple of overs to get himself in. Four for 63 of 64 now with the single. Floats this one up. Seifert, half volley. Lifts it over the offside for 4 through the covers. Beautiful shot. Great end to the over. And maybe Seifert, 21 off 20. Well, there you go. PC. Seifert just moves to 21. You got it. PC needed Seifert to make 21. And with that boundary, he gets there. 21 of 20. 4 for 68. 98 needed or 54 balls. This is not out of reach. Wickets are obviously a huge concern. But we saw what happened with the Stars innings. This run chase is not out of reach. Don't think for 1 second this game is over. Webster, none for 16 off his first. Back into the attack. Did they go after him again? .98 needed or 54. Seifert trying to steal the strike there. Well, that's hilarious. The Renegades trying to get Seifert on strike. Webster to Sutherland. There was a noise, but it's called a wide. Wide down the leg side. Well, Webster, none for 17 off 1 over. You would be expecting better from one of your internationals. Didn't really do the job with the bat. And struggling with the ball as well, Sutherland. Rocks onto the back foot, punches it down the ground to long on for 1. 4 for 70. So, yeah, Webster, none for 18. Just not very good figures. but he could turn it around, certainly. 96 needed off 53. Seifert's 21 off 20. Sutherland, 13 off 11. Seifert lances it off the pads. Down to long leg for one. Four for 71. 11.2 gone. 95 runs required. 52 balls. You just never know. Sutherland doesn't quite get to the pitch of that ball. Little inside edge away for a dot ball. Current run rate 6.17 required. 11.18. They won't want that to get too far out. Braxton Sims, ahoy! Braxton Sims, can you give a shout out to your mate Josh? Ahoy, Josh! Hope you're enjoying the game. Four for 72 here. Trying to chase 165 set by the Stars. Webster, slower ball outside off. Cut away into the gap. But it is cut off. They should come back for two there. And they do. None for 22. Bo Webster. Disappointing start with the ball. Seifert on strike. Looking very comfortable, Seifert. I might have just put the commentator's curse on him, but yeah, he's looking mighty comfortable out there, Seifert. His 24 runs, and even there, just going on the defensive, but finding the middle of the bat. End of the over. 4 for 74, 12 gone. 11.5 required run rate is certainly not out of control. 13, 14. I mean, 13 is up there. 14 is like power surge. It's power surge time. The power surge has been called. And Peter Siddle is going to bowl the first over of the surge. Peter Siddle, the experienced campaigner. These are the big moments. Siddle to Sutherland. First ball of the surge. Drifts onto the pads. Turns it away fine. Out to square leg for one. Seifert back on strike. A lot of protection on the leg side. All the fielders are up on the offside. So you know Peter Siddle is going to be targeting the legs. Four for 75. Siddle in again. On the legs. Beautifully bowled. And just punched down to mid-on for a single. Oh, he's such a good... Peter Siddle is such a good bowler, honestly. It is impressive. Such an impressive specimen right there. He's obviously big on fitness. The fact a pace bowler still kicking on. Two singles to start the surge. Bowled him! Peter Siddle clean bowls him. Sutherland's gone. That is a tick off the multi. Peter Siddle, thank you, sir. Now we just need Usama Mir. Peter Siddle right on the money. Leg stump. Hit about 3/4 of the way up. It wasn't Seifert, but Sutherland will do. It's 5 for 76. The Stars. I mean, I would say the Stars well on top, but we all saw what happened in the opening innings, right? We saw what happened. But who is going to be the Melbourne Renegades' Glenn Maxwell? I mean, that's the difference. Glenn Maxwell is the difference tonight so far. Seifert is now... I mean, Fraser McGurk was the obvious choice, but now it's all on Seifert. Harry Dixon on debut, coming out to face Peter Siddle in a power surge. What a moment. On debut versus Peter Siddle, who's played about 4,000 games. And he's off the mark immediately, punching it straight back down the ground for one. 89 needed or 44. It's not out of reach by any stretch of the imagination. This is not out of reach. It's going to be very difficult, though. The Stars would have to be favourites from here, obviously. Siddle. A nice full ball. Punches it back at him. And Siddle manages to get a hand on it, knock it down, but he's hurt himself in the process, surely. That would have to hurt. Right on the pinky. Saved a 4, but at what cost? At least it's not his bowling hand. Oh, wait. No, that is his bowling hand. Yeah, he's right-handed. Yeah, that would have hurt. That would have really hurt. And that was his bowling hand. 4 runs and a wicket from that over. Peter Siddle is 1 for 4 of 2. An amazing performance there from the veteran. He's vegan, apparently, says Michelle. Don't know what that has to do with anything. But some valuable trivia, nonetheless. 5 for 78 here, 13 overs gone. That's why he's so fit and still going. But you need meat in your diet. There's plenty of people that eat meat and are better than Siddle. As Seifert pulls this away straight to the man at mid-on. And that's a huge breakthrough. That is probably the breakthrough of the match. Harris with the first ball of the second over of the surge. And Ben Duckett, chest height, takes the catch. Joel Paris looks exactly like Daniil Medvedev. Novak Djokovic is there in the crowd. I've just realized why Novak has showed up, because he thinks that Joel Paris is one of his biggest rivals, Daniil Medvedev. That is the dagger, ham and cheese. Fraser McGurk was the obvious choice to play the Maxwell role. Fraser McGurk got out. Seifert was the one that was going to do it. That's a dagger. Rogers can do some damage, but look, his highest score is 49 not out. And he starts with a nice little glance off the legs to get off the mark. They come back for 2. But that was a monster of a wicket, that one. Seifert back in the dugout, starting to look comfortable. $86 or 40. Look, it's not out of reach. It is not out of reach. It is very difficult. Leading edge up in the air, caught. Rogers is gone. Paris gets a second in the over. 7 for 80. Why did I just randomly turn into an AFL goal umpire? I don't know. But he's out nonetheless. 7 for 80. And the Stars, their finals hopes are alive. They are moving into the top 4. The winner of this match was always going to go into 4th spot. And it's looking like the Stars, can you believe it? The Melbourne Stars, what a fairy tale story of the tournament. Bottom of the table, couldn't defeat their own shadows at one point, and they are now in the top 4, on the brink anyway. Brody says, can't hide the love for Aussie rules. Hey, look, honestly, I used to watch Aussie rules when I was a kid. I just stopped. For whatever reason, just stopped. I don't hate it. I just don't watch it. So it is probably still in there somewhere. Fergus O'Neill out to bat. Hangs the bat outside off stump, and it's through to the keeper. Paris, 3 for 12, or 3.4. Can you believe the Melbourne Stars are on the brink of being in the top 4? This is incredible. 7 for 80. Edge, was it? No, hangs the bat out and misses the outside edge. We are well and truly into the tail now. Christian Kupkovic, ahoy mate. Rabbitohs. I'll tell you, Christian Kupkovic, my early prediction is that the Rabbitohs will be back in the 8 this season. Uncle Wayne, the master coach, he's got a plan. Campbell Graham, fully fit and firing. People forget Campbell Graham was missing, absent for a large part of 2024. Campbell Graham, fit, firing, back in action. If you've seen the photos of the preseason training, Latrell Mitchell looks like an absolute tank because you knew I actually should go and see Wayne Bennett. Wayne Bennett has sorted Latrell out. Latrell looks like a monster. I should go and have words with Uncle Wayne and say, mate, can you whip me into shape? Latrell Mitchell looking like an absolute tank. Campbell Graham back. Rabbitohs will be in the top 8. Christian Kupkovic, guaranteed. Usama back into the bowling attack. Floats this one up. And Fergus O'Neill happy to just get down the non-striker's end. 7 for 82. 84 needed off 35. We go back to the first innings, 4 for 47. And all looked lost for the Melbourne Stars. And they are now well and truly on top. 7 for 83. We still need Osama Mir for a wicket. Swing and a miss. He tossed that one up. Fergus O'Neill tries to punch it away into the offside. Nothing but air. Three balls left. Mir tosses it up. O'Neill lifts it to the leg side. Just the one. That required run rate now is completely out of hand. 15 and over. It is well and truly out of hand now. for the Melbourne Renegades, and they're out of batsmen. The key, they're out of batsmen. Dixon backs away, lofts it, square on the leg side, just over the head of Stoinis. At a 6, well, maybe they're not out of batsmen. They've got one left, but Dixon's on debut. He couldn't possibly do it on debut, could he? What a fairy tale it'd be. Will Main, ahoy mate, welcome back. Can you believe what we're seeing, Will? Talk about roller coasters, ups and downs. Into the gap, and Dixon on debut finishes the over with a 6 and a 4. He couldn't possibly do it, could he? Harry Dixon on debut. 7 for 90, or 94. 7 for 90, I think. .94, 7 for 94. 15 overs gone. Dixon on debut. What a fairy tale it would be. Oh, he couldn't possibly, could he? He could not possibly. 6.27 the current rate. 14.4 the required rate. Peter Siddle back into the attack. Swing and a miss from Fergus O'Neill. Peter Siddle, 2 overs, 1 for 4. Just in case, what are the Stars paying to win the comp? Callan Gilboy, yes. Dixon is on debut. What are the Stars paying to win the comp? Let's have a look. Oh, actually, on Sportsbet, that's usually big. Swing and a miss from Fergus O'Neill again. Well, Peter Siddle. Oh, he's got cramps. Peter Siddle, cramps. Nah, he seems all right now. He's kicked it out. Yeah, sometimes on Sportsbet, the futures, they take the future market out when the game's going. I'm not sure I can look. XJC, ahoy, mate. Who's cramping? Peter Siddle. O'Neill bends it back down the pitch. Siddle fields his own bowling. Threatens to throw the stumps down. 3-dot balls to start. Peter Siddle, 2.3 overs, 1 for 4. Amazing bowling from the veteran. Callan Gilboy says, did Peter Siddle ever get a hat-trick? I think he did. I think he got a very famous one, didn't he? Peter Siddle in again, 3-dot balls. O'Neill fends it away to the offside. Min-on collects it. They come through for a single. Let's see. Who's in next for the Renegades? Renegades, Adam Zampa. By the looks of it, Adam Zampa. Oh, that's a huge full toss. That's got to be a no ball. That has got to be a no ball. Now, we saw a couple not called against Glenn Maxwell, but that was even bigger. Peter Siddle got that horribly wrong. Yeah, that was above shoulder height, that one. And that had to be a no ball. Now, we saw a couple let go at the back end of the Stars batting when Maxwell was on strike, but that had to be called a free hit. Dixon, 12 of 6. No, Siddle's fine. He's shaking out the cramps. He shook it off. Bowled him! It's a free hit, though! He clean bowled him, but it's a free hit off the no ball. And Dixon survives. Well, Peter Siddle's been an absolute monster tonight. 2.5 overs, 1 for 6. And if that was a regulation delivery, he would have had another one. Well, has this gone away for 4? This has gone, it's hit the stumps, he's bowled him, and it's gone past the keeper for 4 byes. The 100 is up for the Renegades. 66 needed off 25. And Dixon turns the last ball away for a single. Mitch says thoughts on Virat Kohli bumping Nathan McSweeney on Boxing Day. Oh, well, he bumped Constas, not McSweeney. But yeah, absolutely nothing in it. An absolute nothing burger. Nothing in it. The media just needed something to talk about, and they got a story out of it. 7 for 101, 16 overs gone. Bloody oath I would. I love burgers. As long as it's got cheese and extra cheese. Just in case it wasn't out because it was a free hit. Peter Siddle bowled a no ball, the previous delivery. So that was a free hit. Can't be out. Steckety back into bowl his last over. 16 overs gone, 7 for 101. Dixon, could he have a dream debut here? 65 of 24. Lofts this one in the air, close to the roof. Will it be caught? Yes, it will be. It is Glenn Maxwell. Glenn Maxwell, the hero with the bat for the Melbourne Stars, has now removed the last threat for the Melbourne Renegades batting lineup. Plants himself under that one and takes a catch, a difficult catch at that. Dixon goes for the big hit. Had to, of course. He absolutely had to go for it. Maxwell plants himself under it. Perfectly positions himself. Hands up. Cricket 101 there from Glenn Maxwell. Steckety gets 4. Adam Zampa out to the crease. 8 for 101. Steckety. Let's not forget, Steckety started with 3 wides as this one's chipped. Square of the wicket and diving forward to take the catch. Zampa's gone for a golden duck. They're 1 wicket away now. Hang on, 8 for 101. Because Richardson's not batting. Richardson's injured. Oh, yes, he is going to bat. Richardson is going to bat. 9 for 101. Richardson to come out. Steckety's on a hat-trick. Now, Steckety started his bowling with 2 wides down the leg side, overcompensated and threw a wide out the offside, bowled a couple of dot balls, and then put another wide down the leg side. He has ended up with figures of 5 for 14. And he could finish the job here with a hat-trick. Steckity in. Fended away from Richardson. Dot ball. Yes, a hat-trick of wides. And now he's almost got a hat-trick of wickets. Nine for 101. The scorecards were so similar, but the Renegades just missing a Glenn Maxwell. That's all there was. Richardson punches this back down the ground. They'll come back for a second. It's not over yet, says is that Maxwell on the microphone? It's not over yet. Come on, Maxie. I think it's safe to say it's over. Nine for 103. The final ball here of Steckety's spell, 5 for 16. Impressive. After the start that he had, it would be very fitting if Steckety finished it off with the last wicket. Steckety, 4 overs, 5 for 17. Unbelievable. Well, the Melbourne Stars move up into 4th on the table. Temporarily, at least. What a turnaround. Unbelievable. 9 for 104 here, the Renegades. We're talking about how much the Stars have improved. But what about the Renegades, right? Like how far they've fallen off. They dropped off a cliff. Webster, none for 22. In to bowl the 18th. Starts with a dot ball. They've got to swing at everything now. 62 of 17. The run rate required is 20.67. .67. Webster drops this in short. Richardson has a hack at this outside off. Can't get it through point. Just a single. The Melbourne Stars. 4 for 47. All looked lost. Webster drops it in short, off pace. Fergus O'Neill pulls it away for a single. Yeah, the problem for the Stars though is they have played more games than anybody. That is the issue that they have. True. So the Melbourne Stars will go played 9, 8 points. The Brisbane Heat, the Scorchers, and the Renegades have all only played 8. Strikers played 8. So, but it's you just got to keep winning. So, like, they've given themselves a chance. They had to win this game, and they've done that. Full outside off. And a dot ball. Fergus O'Neill, 5 of 12. Just can't make contact. Full send says no way the Stars won after that. Oh, yes. Yes, they did. BBL is rigged, you reckon? I don't think so. The difference is that both innings have been exactly the same, except for Glenn Maxwell. Glenn Maxwell has been the difference. One former international player has made the difference. O'Neill lifts this one over the offside. Protection out there at point. Just the single. It's 9 for 109. 2 overs to go. Peter Siddle to bowl the 19th. Wow, it is hammering down rain here, by the way. Thumping down with rain. Fergus O'Neill just hasn't got to the pitch of anything. Now, Fergus O'Neill is obviously not a batsman, not one of the top line batsmen. He just has not got to the pitch of anything tonight. .54 off 10. Siddle down the leg side. Richardson can't get hold of it. Required run rate 32. We are now officially up into stick cricket territory. The required run rate is up in stick cricket world. 54 off 9. This is more than gettable at stick cricket. Richardson straight to the man at mid-off. How have you been finding it anyway, Will? Have you been playing it? I don't think there's really any... I honestly, I've got no friends on there. I haven't added anybody on there before, so I don't know if there's any advantage to having friends on there. But have you been playing it? I find it's pretty cool. I mean, it's different. As far as cricket games go, it's different, but I think it's a bit of fun. I've been enjoying it. But yeah, I've never added anybody on there, so I don't know if there's any advantage to adding people on there, but oh well, I mean, it's a feature that they've got. We'll figure it out. I've had some really fun, like, last ball victories. Chasing down totals. You've got like a 20% chance of hitting a 6, and you need 5 to win, and that thrill of, like, yes, the odds actually went in my favour. One for 12 here. Peter Siddle, 3.5 overs. He has bowled extremely well. Peter Siddle turning back the clock. Or maybe not turning back the clock. Maybe just eating veggies. Full toss. Draws the top edge. It'll land safely. Constus. Who do I go for in the BBL? The Brisbane Heat, unfortunately. Well, it wasn't unfortunate last season, but it's pretty unfortunate this season. $19 overs gone. The required run rate is 43.71. And that, I'm afraid, is even beyond stick cricket territory right there. No, actually, no, it's 51. Yeah, it's 51. They need 51 and over off the final over. And that is That's almost 2 full overs beyond stick cricket territory right there. Actually, speaking of stick cricket, let's see. Stick Cricket Super League. I do still have it installed. I just want to see. I want to go into my stats. Let's go into my stats and see how many championships I've won in a row. All right. I'm into season 76. Oh, top edge from Fergus O'Neill. It's going to land safely. I thought that was it. All right. I'm into season 76, and I have won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 in a row. I don't know what happened to these season 57 and 56. I don't know what happened. I must have not been paying full attention to have lost those. But then I've won quite a few in a row since then as well. .46 required for victory here for the Melbourne Renegades. 4 balls left. Bowled him, but it's a free hit. And overthrows. They go for the run out. They get overthrows. For the second time tonight, the Melbourne Renegades have been bowled off a free hit. Three balls left, 44 required for victory. Three balls left. Richardson down the ground to long off for 1. Can the Renegades avoid being bowled out? We saw the Stars bowled out off the last ball. Will a similar thing happen here? 43 needed off 2. Webster to Fergus O'Neill. Absolutely hammering down. The rain thumping down here. Two balls remain. Webster to Fergus O'Neill. Goes for it. Skies it. Should be caught. And it is taken. Ben Duckett takes the catch. The Renegades have been bowled out for 123. The Melbourne Stars somehow lift their way to victory, keep themselves alive in this tournament. Riding on the back of Glenn Maxwell. Yeah, Lockie Bragger, I do live in Brisbane. It is pissing down. Hardcore out there. Unbelievable. Like, I've got a relatively soundproofed recording studio. I can hear the rain. I don't normally hear outside noises. It's got to be really heavy or really loud. Like, I'll hear fireworks. If fireworks are nearby, it's impossible to block out that sort of noise. The rain is so heavy right now. It is filtering through my soundproof studio. That's really, really heavy. That's insane. Southside, yes. No, it's all good. Southside. I don't mind. It's actually really funny because we did... I've been streaming to social media for about 6 years. before Wasted World of Sports, I used to have a gaming channel. And there was one night I was doing a stream and a regular in the chat room who had been there for multiple times before, and I've talked about these fireworks that I could hear. It's like, oh, fireworks. And this person in the chat room was like, oh, there's fireworks here as well. We figured it out without giving each other's proximity away. We figured it out, though, that we live like just a few streets away from each other. I mean, how weird is that? How bizarre, how small world is that I'm live streaming and some son of a bitch is like just a few streets away. Crazy. Glenn Maxwell, surely man of the match, as the Melbourne Stars continue to stay alive in this competition. Setting themselves 165, 4 in a row. And what an underdog story it would be. Lockie Bragger says, do you know Manly? Hello? Hey. You came wandering in, huh? What's happening outside? I hear that it's raining very heavily out there. Yeah? Lots of rain? Now, when you say, do I know Manly, what exactly do you mean? I obviously know of the place, Manly. I'm not from Manly, no. XJC, you tipped the Stars. Good job. I tipped the Stars as well. Oh, far from Manly. Okay, so Manly, Wynnum. Actually, here's a funny story. The Wynnum Manly Seagulls, right? The Wynnum Manly Seagulls, I built their very first website. Yeah. No, I'm not very close, though, to Redlands and Bay. Although, I'll tell you what, I don't work there anymore, but I actually used to work for the Redlands City News, which is out that way. Right? Wynnum, Manly, Bayside. Taylor says, do you reckon Maxi gets man of the match? He has to. He has to. I know Steckity bowled well, but Glenn Maxwell single-handedly turned this game on its head. They were 4 for 47. Steckity bowled well eventually, yes, but were it not for Glenn Maxwell, Steckity's 5 for 17 means nothing. Maxwell did get man of the match. There you go. There you go. He already got the KFC box. Lucky son of a bitch. I could go some KFC right about now. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, as well as Steckity ended up bowling, apart from those first 3 balls, they don't even have a chance in this game if Glenn Maxwell does not salvage that batting innings, right? Lockie Bragger, I live near Marnus. Where does Marnus live? I'll tell you where I do live near. I actually live very, very close to where Savage Garden grew up. And actually, Ian Healy grew up here as well. Ian Healy went to my high school. I went to the same high school as Ian Healy. There's a little bit of trivia. Will Main says Stars equal contenders. The problem for the Melbourne Stars at the moment is, well, let's have a look at it. Let's deep dive. Let's have a deep dive into it momentarily. So the problem for the Stars is they've played 9 games. Everybody below them has played 8. So that is the thing that works against them. The Stars now move into 4th spot ahead of the Brisbane Heat. But everybody, and I'm not exaggerating when I say everybody below them has only played 8. So they've got a game in hand. But who plays who? What's the rest of the draw look like? So tomorrow, the Thunder play the Scorchers. The Stars would be hoping that the Thunder win that, right? The Hurricanes play the Renegades. The Stars would be hoping the Hurricanes win that. The Strikers play the Sixers. They'd be hoping that the Six... You understand where this is going. The Heat play the Hurricanes. They'd be hoping the Hurricanes win that. So it does still require a little bit of... they do need some results to go their way. The Stars' last game, though. The Stars' last game is against the Hobart Hurricanes. At home, they have to beat the Hobart Hurricanes. And honestly, if they beat the Hobart Hurricanes, they deserve to be in the finals. And that is the very last game of BBL 14 regulation rounds. So the Stars will know. They will know, based on the other results, whether or not there's still a chance of making the finals. It is the last game of the regulation rounds, Stars versus the Hurricanes. They will know exactly what they need to do, or if there even still a chance to make the finals. It's going to still require some results to go their way. And they're going to have to beat the Hurricanes. They're going to have to beat the Hurricanes. So, but the first part of the job is done, right? The first cog off that ladder is that they had to win this tonight. They did. Joshua, I go for the Brisbane Heat. Unfortunately. The real Matt says, what's the Thunder on the ladder? They're still in the top 4, despite their thing the other night. They are 3rd on 9 points. The Stars, with this win tonight, they go 4th on 8. And right behind them are the Brisbane Heat in 5th on 7 points. The Scorchers on 6. Renegades on 6. Strikers on 6. Cog, I don't know. Cog on a ladder. Cog on something. Who cares? Lockie Braggis is so happy Munro is injured in the least nasty way possible. I get what you mean. I totally get what you mean. Colin Munro. Can you believe, honestly, Brisbane Heat supporters, we need to unite on this because, honestly, we have the worst player retention and recruitment in the entire competition. Hey, it's all good, Sync TV. Wasted World of Sports, live on YouTube, live on TikTok. We are all about taking the piss. I take the piss out of myself worse than anybody else possibly can. So it's all good. It's not a problem at all. We need to unite, Brisbane Heat supporters. We have the worst recruitment and retention policy out of everybody in the BBL. Colin Munro was our first draft pick. There's a draft to the BBL. For people who don't know, there is a player draft at the start of every season. For some reason, we picked Colin Munro first. And you can also lock a player in. So if somebody else tries to take a player out of your squad, you're able to play your lock and say, no, we don't want to let that player go. Now, I understand that he didn't have the best game tonight, but he's just come back from injury. This was his first game back from injury. But for the love of Christ, why did we not use our player lock to keep big bad Josh Brown? Someone please explain this to me. Josh Brown almost single-handedly, won the Brisbane Heat the tournament last season. Almost single-handedly. Big Josh Brown. Off the back of his bat, Spencer Johnson was able to fire. Xavier Bartlett was able to fire. Kuhneman and Swepson were able to fire. It was off the back of Josh Brown's bat, and we let him go. Now, I understand that he did not do well tonight, but as I said, he's just come back from injury. But why let him go? We've got Colin Munro. Why is Jimmy Pearson... Okay, somebody please tell me Jimmy Pearson's got to be injured, right? If Jimmy Pearson's not injured, I understand that we spent a lot of money on Alsop. We spent money on Alsop. Alsop's playing wicketkeeper. Jimmy Pearson's got to be injured, right? Jimmy Pearson should be the captain, and he should be the wicketkeeper, and he was a stable figure in the middle order. Alsop's been terrible, God bless him. I'm sure he's a nice guy, and we spent a lot of money on him for whatever reason. But Alsop replacing Pearson, Pearson's got to be injured. The only thing that I will accept is that Jimmy Pearson is injured. If Jimmy Pearson is injured and I haven't heard about it, not a problem. If Jimmy Pearson is not injured, I think that he honestly should go play for somebody else next season. But isn't it funny, though? Here's one thing that I always talk about. Something that I always talk about. Brisbane Heat players. Steckity. Look at what Steckity did tonight. A 5 for. I nearly put up 4 fingers. 5 for Steckity tonight. Steckity, former Brisbane Heat player. Alex Ross. Alex Ross has left the Brisbane Heat and turned into a very reliable middle order batsman. Chris Lynn. Now, Chris Lynn was great at the start, and I know that Chris Lynn had all started to get a little bit tiresome. He was basically carrying the entire team on his back at one point there, which was too much for him. I think Chris Lynn and the Brisbane Heat at the end there was a toxic relationship, and he needed to go. But look at how good he's doing now that he's gone to Adelaide. Alex Ross has said. Sam Billings, of course, has moved on and is doing well. Ben Cutting was probably the most hard done by player in Brisbane Heat history. He moved on and ended up doing well. I know that that's not really a thing anymore, but still, one of the most hard done by players of all time there, Ben Cutting. And he went on and did quite well when he moved on. And the list just goes on and on and on of former Brisbane Heat players. Ben Duckett. The fairy tale relationship with Tall Paul is over. He's been disastrous this year. Very much so. Very much so. Joshua, I think the Hobart Hurricanes surely are the best placed to win the tournament this year. Hurricanes for mine. Well, I think the rain stopped. Either that or it's just gotten so light that I can't hear it anymore. Yeah, the Hurricanes with a game in hand over the Sixers at the top of the table. They're looking good. Well, the Hurricanes, though, God bless them, but the Hobart Hurricanes, right? They they have a tendency to, what's the saying? Always the bridesmaid, never the bride. That's the saying, right? Always the bridesmaid, never the bride. They've made it to a couple of finals. They've never won. Maybe it could be their year. It could be the Hurricanes' year. But I feel like we've probably said that before. Melbourne Stars have won this one, though, by 42 runs. Oh, we've got the catch of the day coming up. Oh, so the catch of the day isn't even from this game. Well, he's bobbled it. That's the catch of the day there. It wasn't even from this game. All right, Waste World of Sports. I feel like I've bollocksed on enough for tonight. Thank you so much for your company here for this one. The Melbourne Stars, their little glimmer of hope of the finals is still alight. Be back tomorrow. Hang on, who's playing tomorrow? Scorchers, I think. Tomorrow, Sydney Thunder versus the Perth Scorchers. Very nice. So, the Thunder still inside the top four. The Scorchers, a must-win. A must-win. All right. Thunder, Scorchers tomorrow. I will see you then. Thank you very much for your company in this one, as always. Until next time, cheers. Waste of Water Sports, live on YouTube, live on TikTok, live on Twitch, live on Facebook. wastedsports.com.au, the official website. Catch you next time. Cheers.